We'll be here in a minute. Come on in and get comfortable, get your favorite drink, and we're about to get started because we got a lot to talk about this week. Hey, you guys, chime in, check in. I see a couple of people just walk through the door. Hey, Keisha, how are you?
Hey, good. How are you?
Oh my God, we got a lot to talk about.
Yes, we
Yeah,
do.
yes, we do. And we are also once again streaming live on the YouTube side. So I just want to give you the heads up on that.
Okay.
They really enjoyed us the past few weeks that we've been going live. I think last week was your first live.
Yes, it was.
Okay, and then before that it was myself and Trish. Now, I gotta say Trish is not gonna be on this morning. Originally she was going to be on, but her husband was sick all last night, so she's been up with him. And so she said, she's gonna have to just check us out later. She's gonna get some sleep.
Well, I hope your husband gets better soon, Trish.
I know we sending well wishes out to Trish today, so hopefully her husband feels better. I told her too, because one of the viewers from last week actually said that Trish sounded just like Phyllis.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I'm trying to picture it, Phyllis's voice right now.
I had to picture it myself because I was like, Phyllis, Trish, Phyllis.
Yeah,
And then when I actually listened to Phyllis this week, because Phyllis really had a big chunk of time this week on air, I was like, okay, maybe I can see that.
I'm gonna have to go back and watch a Phyllis scene and think about Trish's voice.
Yeah. Okay. So, welcome you guys. Say hello. Let me know where you are on the YouTube side. Let's see. Okay, we got some folks. Hey Melanie. Hi Javoris Kearnshaw. Ethel McWayne. Good morning to all of you. Welcome. Come on in. Grab a cup of coffee. I have a cup of coffee sitting over there with a little bit of caramel in it.
Me too.
Oh, okay. We all got our cup of coffee, and maybe some of you guys got some tea over there too. Cause yeah, it was a pretty interesting week to say the least. So let me just go ahead and do a formal introduction for you guys that are new watching the platform on both the podcast side and the YouTube side. I'm gonna go through how we do the show, and then we'll jump into this and unpack everything. All right, so welcome you guys to CBS Soap Dish Recap, where today Keisha and I is going to recap The Young and the Restless and The Bold and the Beautiful for the week of December 12th through December 16th. So I'm going to give a summary. We usually do The Young and the Restless first and break it all down, and then we'll do The Bold and the Beautiful second. And then at the end, we have two segments. We have our Flip the Script segment, which is if there's a particular scene or storyline that you wish you could change, that's where we flip the script. And who's taking a seat this week? Who did a little bit too much? They need to go sit down somewhere. So we have that segment as well. So without any other further ado, some folks watched the Monday episode. I haven't seen it yet, and that's on me. I've been busy. I usually try to catch it on Friday nights or Saturday mornings, but not today. So I missed it. Yeah.
I'm never able to watch the Monday episode ahead of time.
No.
Mm-mm.
Oh, okay. Well, don't. Well, I mean, if you got some good tweaky spoilers, you guys over there, yeah. Oh, okay. So I guess Adam and Chelsea is going to be hanging out next week. I've been hearing some rumors about the fact that they might put those two back together. I thought it would have been Billy, but I don't know.
If they're going to put her with somebody, I would prefer it be Adam over Billy, just because Billy has
got on your nerves.
Yes.
Yeah, tell me about it. We always put him in a seat every week, it seems like. All right, so
Yeah.
let's go ahead and get this started. I'm gonna break down give the summary for the Young and the Restless, and then we're gonna break these storylines down. Oh yes, thank you, Miss Mariah. Everybody, please support the channel. Hit the like button. Likes are free. It lets YouTube know that hey, this is some content that they need to share. Subscribe if you haven't. I see a lot of you shadow watchers over the weeks. I look at my analytics on the YouTube side. So I can see who's subscribed and watching and who's not subscribed and watching. And you keep coming back. So might as well get to subscribe. Hit the subscribe button and turn on your notifications. All right. So for the Young and the Restless, for the week of December 12th through the 16th, Chelsea made amends to people that she hurt. Devon ordered Nate to stay out of his life. Summer fired Phyllis, and Daniel invited Phyllis to work with him. And also, I got to throw this in too. This whole fiasco with Diane being taken up to the cabin as well. So, yeah, and this leads off into the Christmas week too. So, where do you want to start?
Um, 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 um. What was the small one? What was the smallest storyline of those?
Okay, so you want to talk about Devon ordering Nate to stay out of his life? That's pretty
Yeah,
short.
we can start with that one because that was
Okay.
only like a thing.
Yeah, that was only one day this week. So what you got on that one?
I thought it was unnecessary for Devon to go over to Nate's place of business to confront him about that. Just that was a text message.
I know,
Like,
right?
stay out of my business. We're not family. If that's what he wants to say, you don't need to worry about what's going on between me and Amanda.
Mm-hmm.
Like, that's all that needed to be. He went over there, made it a bigger deal than what it needed to be. Hey, um, and then he kept. It was like he kept dragging it on. Like, if you don't want to talk about it, then say I don't want to talk about it, and then leave. But he kept standing there and like re-explaining and reminding Nate we're not cool, so stay out of my business. So
Yeah, I mean, that's what I was saying. I'm like, you had to come all the way over to Newman Media. And then he saw they were in a meeting and he just didn't care.
yeah, that was the other thing. That was rude.
Yeah, I'm like, dude, you see that he's in a meeting with the CEO of the entire company, and you pretty much, I mean, granted, Victoria excused herself, but it's like, you
I
see
need to
there in
talk to
the,
Nate.
I need to talk to Nate right now. And it's like, if I was Victoria, I'd be like, you need to schedule a time, make an
Yep,
appointment.
same.
Even Nate should have said that because that
Yep.
was, you know what, and like you said, when he told him that Devon and broke down how he wanted him to stay out of his business, Nate was like, "You could have just said that over the phone. Stay out of my life." But yet you come all the way over into Nate's domain to tell him that.
Right.
It makes no sense. So I'm just like, whatever, Devon. You making yourself look bad. And as much as I think was that Lily that said, sometimes you shouldn't be, maybe you need to forgive Nate because we've all done things that we're not, happy about, which that whole thing with that he did with Abby, I mean, come on, you shouldn't be trying to thumb your nose up at anybody.
Yeah. Now, I don't know if I would. I don't think you can really compare the 2. It was what he did was, of course, that was disgusting.
Right.
That was dead wrong.
Mm-hmm.
However, that was a personal, something that happened in his personal life.
Mm-hmm.
What Nate did was you were literally trying to take that family's company from them. You were trying to take control.
That's true.
Of 2 huge companies, and they both belong to your family. So that's a different type of betrayal right there. But I still think that I feel like Devon didn't do anything but draw more attention to something like. I feel like he drew more attention to that situation with him and Amanda than
Mm-hmm.
what he needed to by going and confronting Nate about that.
Right. It's
Because
stupid.
now Nate is really like, you must have really done something. You must have really messed up if you coming down here getting in my face about this.
Right. Right. And Aditha Lee says Devon thinks he's better than everybody. And Ethel McWayne said that Lily tried to compare the two situations. I think that's
Yeah,
why I
she
got that conversation. Yeah, that comment she
yeah,
said.
she did.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Yeah,
But
I
go
will.
ahead.
I agree. I do feel like Devon has that holier than thou attitude that um everybody else is a mess up or does basically horrible things, and when he does it, it's not as big a deal, or you know what I mean. I don't
Right,
know how to
right.
explain it. He just, yeah, I agree. Sometimes I think Devon does think he's better than everybody else.
Yeah, I think so too. Rosemary from Florida says that was me thinking Trish, that was Phyllis. Oh, okay, great. I told her about it this morning. Yeah, and then she said also even Devon was shutting Daniel down already. Yeah, so we got to talk about that too because I don't know, do you think that they're making good business decisions right now? First, after that whole thing with Nate, they still want to go forward with the IPO. And then now, they're taking on Daniel's whole thing, but I don't know. What do you think?
I haven't heard them talk about the IPO lately, and I didn't think they ever made a final decision on it.
Yeah, that was either late last week or early this week that
No, I must totally
Lily
missed it.
told Devon. Yeah, Lily told Devon when they were at Society that Jill wants to move forward with the IPO.
But she's been telling him that Jill has been wanting to move forward with it, and Devon was the one that was like, "Let's hold off until we can figure out who it was that Nate was working with." So did he? Did Devon finally agree to it?
That's why early this week, I mean, they had little bits and pieces. The main focus this week seemed to be around that whole Phyllis thing, but I just remember her having that conversation earlier this week. So I don't know, they just threw that in there, and then Devon really didn't have a major response to it. Melanie says Lily said to Devon, "It is the worst thing that Nate betrayed you, and you can't forgive him. But you cheated on Amanda with Abby, but want her to forgive you. Devon is a hypocrite." That's an interesting point. What do you think?
I don't think you can simplify those two
No,
incidences.
I
No,
I
not at
think
all.
that I.
Because
Mhm.
it's too. They're just two different things. Like Nate was trying to take their livelihood, and not saying that he wouldn't have allowed Devon or Lily to work for the companies if he would have been able to gain control from them.
Mhm.
But come on now, do you really think they would have gone back to that company and worked for Nate?
No, I mean I wouldn't think so. I think Devon probably would have went back in the contracts and probably try to remove his Winters found. I forgot what was the original name of their company. Hamilton Winters.
Hamilton Winters.
Hamilton
Yeah.
Winters, and probably try to sever ties with Chancellor. So I don't know, but
Yeah, so I just don't see those two things as being comparable. Like he was trying to take a legacy that Devon built with his dad and trying to take over Chancellor as well. Like that, I'm sorry, but those two just those
don't
aren't
add
the
up.
same to me.
Okay.
People, and I'm not that it's okay,
Mm-hmm.
but cheating scandals happen all the time, and
Yeah.
to me
Mm-hmm.
that's a more forgivable, I guess, um incident
Mm-hmm.
than someone trying to steal my company from me.
Gotcha. Okay. Honey Smile 320 said Devon is a billionaire with too much time on his hand and Lily is struggling. She is struggling.
Mm-hmm.
This whole thing that she's dealing with Billy. Um Now okay, so I think we can move on from the whole thing with Devon and Nate, right?
Yeah.
Okay. What do you think about this whole situation with Lily and Billy this week? Because I don't know. I just think that there's distance there because she looks at him as doing too much,
Mm-hmm.
and he looks at her as like, I can't believe you not being
Being insensitive.
sympathetic.
Yeah.
Right. So what do you think?
I'm on Lily's side with this. I do
Hmm.
think Billy is still doing too, like, there's no need for him to be sitting up in Chelsea's apartment with her having movie nights.
I know, and he had 2 movie nights with her already.
Yeah. And it's just the two of them. Like,
Right.
that's,
Like a
and I've
date.
said it, yeah, and I've said it a million times over the last several weeks.
Hmm.
Billy and Chelsea did not have a close relationship before this incident. So him feeling like he has to be there for her and has to basically, he's basically trying to babysit Chelsea to make sure that she doesn't do anything to um, derail her um, progress. And it's like, that is not your role.
It's not
That
his
is not your
job.
job. She's got a best friend. She's got Chloe. She's got
Adam.
Adam. Yeah, she's got Sharon, who is a professional. Like, her and Sharon, of course, weren't BFFs either. But Sharon, I feel like, is acting more in a professional role
Right.
than anything, and
Right.
giving her advice and stuff like that. Billy don't need to be there
He
because
don't.
there's nothing that Billy has to offer her other than his own experiences, and she can go to a support group for that.
Exactly. And that's the crazy thing about this whole situation. Just the fact that he wants to be not only her support, like you just said, a babysitter, he also wants to be the only one to support
Yeah,
her. He don't even want Adam around. And that man has a child with her.
right.
And then when I think was that conversation between Adam and Billy earlier this week when, or was that last week? It might have been, I don't know. But when
I
Adam
thought
brought
it
up
was this week.
it was this week. Yeah,
I
when
think so.
Adam brought up the fact that he got a child, and then all of a sudden now Billy was like, "Well, she's the mother of my child too," and I'm like, "Hold on, come on,
Oh
Billy."
wait, maybe that was
I
last
think
week.
that was last week, but still, you want to throw that, yeah, because we talked about it on the
Yeah,
live last week. It's like, how do you now want to throw the mother of my child card in there when for weeks and months you've been saying, no, this is me and Victoria?
right.
So you just looking for an excuse to downplay Adam and to get next to Chelsea. Get next to Chelsea.
Yeah, and then he said something this week. It was when Adam showed up. I think it was after they watched their movie or something.
Mm-hmm.
Then Adam showed up to the apartment,
Mm-hmm.
and I think he went down to the coffee house and was talking to Sharon, and he was like, "Well, Adam showed up. I don't need him bringing his bad energy around Chelsea." And it's like,
Yeah, he
where did
sure.
you even get that? Where did you get that from?
Dude came in
Because
there
he
with,
doesn't like you doesn't mean that he's bringing negative energy to Chelsea.
right. I mean, he came in there with bags of Christmas presents, and he wasn't rude. He asked. He said, "Am I interrupting something?" And
Yeah,
so Billy was like, "Nope, I'm leaving," and that was it. Where did you get bad vibes from?
right.
You just be making up stuff. It's just, it gets, to me it gets old, because at
Mm-hmm.
what point do you just stop to say, okay, you know what, let me just leave Adam alone? But it's like every time Adam is around anything, it's always, wow, look at him. Well, he always doing this. He's a bad influence. He's this, he's that. It's like, dude, get a grip. I don't know who's worse, you or Phyllis with Diane.
Right.
Both
I
of
think
them.
Phyllis might be a little worse than
Yeah,
Billy.
Phyllis is worse than Billy when it comes to that whole the hatred for their what they call them, nemesis.
Yeah.
We got some comments. So it says the gap. Oh, wait a minute. Honey Smile says she needs to go back to Kane if Kane was back on. What do you think? I remember that whole
No.
thing. You don't think so with Lily and Kane?
I there at some point in that relationship, I started to not like Kane. I think it was because for like the umpteenth time he got
Hmm.
caught in a lie about something. So it would be like they would be good for like a year or so, and then something would come up in Kane's past where Kane was lying about something.
Right.
And then they would break up for about a week, and Lily would take him back. And it's like, how many times are you going to take this man back? So I think it was, I want to say after, it was whatever the lie was before they found out that Kane had gotten that girl pregnant in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember what it was he did before that, but there was something else that he did. And they broke up for a little bit, and then she ended up taking him back. And it was just like,
It's
I
a
was done
vicious
with Kane.
cycle.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And he also has that very, I feel like he has kind of the same personality as Devon, where he was always trying to like scold Billy or whatever, or Adam or whoever, I guess, wasn't living up to his standards, like a holier than thou kind of attitude.
Mm-hmm.
And then here you go, you got about 50 lies in your past that you haven't explained to your wife.
I know.
And they just keep coming out. So
you didn't like them two together.
I'm good on Kane. I hope they, if they bring him back, that they don't put them together.
I got you. You all right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Excuse me.
All right. Ethel says the gap is getting wider between Lily and Billy. Billy just needs to stop the nonsense. Melanie Corley says it's not fair that Billy hangs out with Chelsea, but Lily can't hang out with Daniel. I always see Billy not putting Lily as her first priority. I agree with that.
Mm-hmm.
I think Honey Smile says, I think Billy finally feels like he has a sense of purpose helping Chelsea. So maybe they're helping each other platonically. I didn't think of it like that. Do you think it's platonic?
Right now, yes, I do think it's platonic.
Okay.
But it's still being done in I feel like an intimate setting, because it's just the two of them.
Mm-hmm.
Chelsea did try to kiss Billy not that long ago.
Right.
They do, and they have a past.
Yeah, they do have a past. Yeah, they do.
So I guess my thing is, if you have the need to want to help people, then you need to go volunteer somewhere.
Yeah, but yeah,
Go
because
volunteer at a like suicide hotline center,
you
or
mean unalive?
Unalive
Mm-hmm.
hotline center,
Mm-hmm.
or go down to a homeless shelter, or volunteer your time with kids that have mental illnesses, or there's plenty of things that you can do if you feel like you need to help somebody and feel like you have a purpose that doesn't involve you neglecting your significant other with somebody that you have a past with, and going and spending time at their house like every night watching movies together.
Exactly.
Or involve Lily.
Yeah,
have
why not?
Chelsea ask Lily, hey, can Chelsea come over and hang out with us? Can we have movie nights together with, her and Connor, or, get her involved if Lily wants to be involved. But if not, then he needs to drop it.
Yep. Okay, let's see. Rosemarie says that Billy is falling for her and will drive Lily to Daniel. Billy Honey Smile says Billy will always hate Adam for Delia's um incident. That won't change. Yeah, he hasn't gotten over that. Neither has Chloe.
Yeah. But they just look for things.
They look for
when
things,
it comes to
right.
Adam.
Yeah,
like I get that whole thing, but it's like Adam could step on a piece of gum.
Yeah.
Oh, he's trying to ruin so and so's life.
I know, right?
He's bad for Chelsea. He doesn't need to be around Chelsea. He stepped on that gum. It's like they literally look for anything that he does and
as a negative.
To find fault in it.
Yep. Aditha says that she liked Lily and Kane, but she is shocked that Billy and Lily lasted as long as they did.
I am too, honestly.
Yeah. Ethel McElwain says no more Kane Ashby. Aditha says Lily and Kane have an established marriage and children. Well, they do. They do have those two twins.
Yeah.
Aditha says Lily slept with another man while married to Kane. Who she sleep with? I forgot.
I don't remember either.
Did she?
But if that happened, which I don't remember, I'm sure whoever made that comment remembers what the situation was. Was it after the
I'm trying to
three
girl.
other lies that Kane had?
Yeah, because he had a lot of them. Melanie says Billy does not want Adam around Chelsea and Connor because he's destructive, but Adam is being loving to Chelsea and Connor. I'm tired of Billy judging Adam. I agree with you 1,000%, Melanie.
That's all he does is judge.
That's all he does. You know, I mean, you more at Chelsea's house, then where's your other kids? I see Johnny more hanging around Chelsea than he's hanging around Johnny.
Yeah.
Um, both Lily, Aditya says both Lily and Kane had their issues, not just Kane. Lily was not innocent. She was a serial cheater. He cheated on and cheated on her and have a baby. Lily ran out of options on the show. She should go back to Kane. Kane had a baby with another woman. Yeah, he did.
She was who did she serial cheat with?
I don't know. Drop that in the comment section. Um, Honey Smile 320. Let me know who she cheated with. I'm trying to remember. Linda Timmons says I watch her videos, but this is the first time I got to see live. I love Lily and Billy together, but I wouldn't blame her if she tells him that she's had enough and it's time to call it quits. And thank you for watching the videos, Linda. I appreciate it. And welcome over to the live. We've been having a good time over here for the past few weeks. But yeah, I agree. It's time for probably Lily to move on.
Yeah. I'd love to see her and Daniel back together.
Honey said he tried to invite Chelsea over. Well, he tried to yeah, okay. That was on Thanksgiving, I think, Honey Smile. So I guess when Billy tried to invite Chelsea over, but Lily said no. I think that situation is different though. I mean, what do you
thought
think?
he tried to
Because I mean,
I thought
that's
there
a
was an
family
explanation behind
thing,
that.
huh?
Yeah. I thought there was an explanation behind that, why she said no to that, and I can't remember what it was. But to me, I just remember thinking that does make sense. So I'd have to go back and watch that episode.
Yeah. Now, Lily offered Billy counseling, which leads me into Melanie's comment that she's hoping that with Billy and Lily going to couples counseling, maybe it'll work out their problems. Do you think that's going to work out?
No, I think at this point, I feel like the writers are just setting it up for them to break up, and for it's either going to go one of two ways. They're going to break up and they're going to put her back with Daniel, or Daniel is going to be. I feel like they're going to turn Daniel into not a bad guy, but somebody that tries to interfere in their relationship to get them to break up.
And did you notice he said that we can start it after the holidays? So what's going to happen between now and the next 2 weeks?
Yeah.
So
I'm curious about that too.
Yeah, when I heard him said, "Oh yeah, we can do that. We can start after the holidays." I'm like, something's about to go down in the next 2 weeks. I don't know. Okay. Lily asked Billy to go to therapy. He said yes. Lily slept with 3 different men way before Kane's lives and the side baby.
While she was married to Kane?
Yeah, that's what Honey Smile is saying.
What were I'm just curious about what the situations were, because I don't remember Lily cheating on Kane multiple times.
Honey Smile 320. Do you remember who she slept with? Because I think maybe if we can get who they were, it might kind of jog the memory of the actual situation.
Yeah.
Nana Rob number 8 says Billy will always have things with Adam. He allegedly killed his and Chloe's. I should have said he unalived. I gotta watch YouTube because they are stickler for certain words. Allegedly unalived his and Chloe's daughter Delia. There's no coming back from that. Being cool with Adam, the hurt runs deep. Billy was distraught after that accident.
I guess we're not saying that him and Billy need to be cool with each other, but Billy, there's times where Billy will
just be doing too much,
approach Adam,
right,
and get into it with Adam, or he just had like unnecessary negative, like what we just said about him going down to the coffee house after he left Chelsea's and was talking about Adam bringing negative vibes to Chelsea. And it's like, but he didn't.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like he just makes up stuff just because he hates Billy or Adam.
Adam. Mm-hmm.
So, like, I, of course, they're never going to be friends or be cool, but I feel like Billy also needs to let go of the, not saying forgive Adam, but
Mm-hmm.
what good is it doing him to constantly, like, it's like Adam is constantly on his mind in a negative way.
I
You
mean,
know what I
and
mean?
and Delia is not the only character on the show that had an incident with somebody else. Because I mean that whole thing with Victor and Colleen, he even ended up with her heart, even though he was the cause of that situation. Um, the incident with Summer and Chelsea, because Summer, she was pregnant. And Summer
Mm-hmm.
had the incident with Chelsea where Chelsea lost the baby. So I mean, there's countless examples of people not carrying this whole thing as deep as Billy and Chloe is.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. It's just like it's just getting old at this point. I mean,
Yeah.
that's why I used to refer to Chloe in my recap videos as Cuckoo Chloe, because every time you look up, she had something crazy to say when it came to Adam. And I understand,
Yeah.
and Sally and friends and blah, to this and that. And it's like, at what point do you stop hating that man?
Right.
It's tired. Okay, let's see.
So
Um,
I
mm-hmm,
was looking, I was trying to look up this stuff
mm-hmm.
on Lily because I just couldn't remember. So
Now,
it says the
Ethel,
first thing that
listen,
I
girl,
see is
Ethel McWayne came. She said Kane came to the show line. He lied all the time.
he did because he lied about his identity. He lied about who he was.
Yeah, he did.
And that was after him and Lily started a relationship. She found that out after they got into a relationship that Kane lied about who he really was.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but on here, it looks like the first thing that she did
Mm-hmm.
was she kissed. Um, remember Tyler, that character Tyler?
Yep.
Um, she kissed him, and this was after she found out that Kane lied about
Identity.
his identity.
Yeah, Adita said there was one guy that she slept with and Kane fought him. It was a tall Caucasian guy with black hair, but she don't remember the multiple men that the other listener had brought up. Kane and Lily worked it out because they realized they both messed up. I remember Lily sleeping with a guy named Joe. That's what I remember. That's who that tall guy with the dark hair is. That's Joe.
Mm.
I remember that when they were at the old athletic club. I am trying to remember Joe Clark. That was his name. Joe. A lot of people are saying Joe. Daniel liked to push Billy's buttons. So that's the other thing. Let's kind of shift gears a little bit because I know this whole Kane and Lily thing, we can go down a whole different path. We got a lot to cover. Um, Daniel and that conversation that he had with Billy. What did you think about that?
Um, I almost felt like it was a. I don't know. I felt like it was Billy trying to, maybe not Billy, Daniel trying
Daniel.
to gauge
Mm-hmm.
um, how Billy really feels, I guess, about his relationship with Lily right now.
Mm-hmm.
I think Daniel is trying to figure out just how close um, Lily and Billy are because it's clear that he still has feelings for her,
Who,
or that
Daniel?
he's redeveloping feelings that he had for her previously. But I don't remember because I can't remember if it was you that said it,
Mm-hmm.
or if it was something that I read in the group that Daniel and Billy had issues with each other before, and I don't remember why
I
they
don't
didn't get
remember
along
me
before.
saying that. You probably saw them maybe on Facebook or
Maybe I
something.
read it in the group then. I can't remember like what their issues were before with each other. If it was just like, you know, just stupid, petty teenage drama type issues, or if
Mm-hmm.
something actually happened between them.
Yeah, all I know with Daniel, something up with that dude. He does not
Yes, there
want to.
is.
He does not want to talk about what happened with his. What is the girl name? His wife,
Heather.
Heather and Lucy.
Mm-hmm.
How they had to travel way out the country to get away from him.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering what that's all about. That's
I.
why. That's why back was that around Thanksgiving when
Mm-hmm.
Daniel came in and Lily was like, "Does this seem like it's something off with Daniel?" That should have been her
Yeah.
red flag moment right there.
I guess I was just assuming they ended their marriage and he just doesn't want to tell anybody right now that they're going through a divorce. Like I didn't think that it was anything more damaging than that.
Hmm.
But I mean, of course, the writers can definitely
Throw something
spin
in
it
there.
into something.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
I what was I gonna say? It just completely fell out of my head. Something. Oh, I hope that they are not bringing him back on this show and completely changing him into some type of maniac like they did with JT.
Right,
I was so
JT.
mad when they did that with JT because I had always liked JT's character.
Yeah,
And then
JT
they,
and Thomas.
yep. And then they brought JT back on and turned him into an abuser. And
Right,
it's like,
exactly.
why?
Daniel. Okay, Ethel says Daniel can see Lily and Billy are having issues. That's his way in. And
Yeah.
Honey Smile said, didn't Daniel and Lily break up after Drusilla fell off the cliff? Yeah, because of Phyllis, because Phyllis was arguing.
With Sharon.
Yeah, with that whole thing. Girl, that was, man, I ain't gonna never forget that episode.
I know. I was so
I
mad.
was so mad. I was so mad about that. What was that? They had to be like, what, 2008 or something? It's been that long or whatever, but it's like, oh my God, I can't. Mm-mm.
Yeah.
Um, but with them green lighting his platform, he's in. I'm wondering if this was a good move by Lily. I mean, and the other thing is that Daniel wants to make a huge announcement by March. Now, I don't think that that's quick. Do you? I could
I
see if.
didn't think so either, but I don't know. Maybe it's just because I'm not experienced in business or gaming, but maybe there's a lot more to it, and that's why Devon thinks that that's quick.
Yeah, because he was like, "Oh, don't you think that's too soon?" I'm like, he said March. He didn't say next week.
Yeah.
You know, Melanie says the problem started with Billy and Lily when Jill hired Lily as CEO. Then Billy, because she does not trust her son to run the company, Billy was jealous, always have to win. I don't know. I don't think Billy is a corporate dude. Period.
Yeah.
He's just not into. I mean, because even when, and I think we talked about this on the podcast before we moved to the YouTube side, is I mean, Lily was had to beg him just to come to work at Chancellor. Remember?
Yep. Yeah, she did.
You know, it's just not his thing. Billy is a rebel. Billy is a drifter. He's the type of guy who finds something, get obsessed with it, and then he's on to the next obsession.
Yep.
I don't see him as that corporate guy. I mean, he's never really been that. It's you. I think that's why they have it. They have the young and the restless because there's quite a few restless characters on here, and Billy is one of them.
Yeah. I wish that they would just. I wish they would find something for that man because Billy is probably supposed to be in his 40s, I'm guessing,
Hmm.
and he's still trying to find himself, still trying to figure out what he wants to do with his life. Like, if he's not a corporate guy, then have him do something like what Nick does on the side with his foundation. Have him set up a foundation and to help the less fortunate or to help people with mental illness, since that seems to be his realm right now, where he, is trying to help Chelsea with her situation.
You know, honestly, I think Lily should have just left him alone and left him with that podcast. The moment, because he was doing well with that, it allowed him to help somebody else, but it also
Mhm.
allowed him to talk his own stuff through. So I
Mhm.
honestly think that that podcast thing probably would have worked in his favor. This is before the whole Chelsea thing.
Mhm.
And Lily was like, "Well, I need you here as my COO," and I'm like, "Girl, that dude don't want to be no COO." And
But she didn't
obvious,
force him. She didn't force him to. She asked him. She gave him the choice. She just said he needs to focus on one or the other, and he was the one that decided to drop the
yeah, he did.
podcast.
Yeah, but she was also very condescending in some of her statements and very passive aggressive. And I think that was one of the things we were talking about on the podcast earlier this year when she was doing that. It's like, how you gonna tell somebody, okay, do what you want to do, just make a choice, but your tone is condescending. Like, okay, well, obviously she don't really want me to make a choice. She really want me to be in the office. Now, granted, he could have stood on his own and said, you know what, fine, then I'm just gonna stay here. But he didn't because he's selfless enough to say, you know what, let me go help my girlfriend, even though this is not where I want to be. And that's what ended up happening. And then in the end, he ended up out anyway. So
I just think he made a series of bad decisions himself. I don't think it had anything to do with Lily making him feel a certain way or forcing him to do anything. I don't. I mean, and I didn't feel like any of those times Lily
nope.
said is because she like there were times where she genuinely said, if this is what you want to do, it's fine. Just tell me that because you're trying to split your time between the podcast and being my COO, and I just need you to make a decision on which one you want to do. And I don't feel like that was her being condescending towards him or trying to make him feel stupid about, doing the podcast. She just wanted him to make a choice
Okay.
because it was affecting his job as her COO.
Okay, so Rosemary from Florida say Daniel Shady got something to hide and now he have Phyllis. Yeah, that's gonna be interesting. Honey Smile said, I think Daniel will eventually show some of Phyllis' characteristics since they're writing Summer as a goody goody now. Billy was
Hope not.
happy. Ethel McWayne said Billy was happy doing the podcast. Sabrina Hughes, welcome. This is my first time seeing you in the comments, so welcome. Lily is controlling. Ethel says Lily just about forced him to drop the podcast.
I don't agree with that at all.
Rosemary said too much money and time on his hands. Yes, I agree. The podcast was a passion for Billy. Melanie says Billy think the grass is greener on the other side, so should have stayed on his podcast and listening to Lily quit. Lily did not want Billy to hire Chelsea after she kissed him. And then Honey Smile said the podcast was great for Billy, but I think he felt pressured by his mom to be an Abbott and the corporate exec like his siblings. Yeah, that job was not, he's not a corporate guy. He's just not. He's that guy to fly by the seat of his pants. He want to just live his life on his own accord.
Mm-hmm.
And if he make money, fine. If he don't make money, fine. Which is why Jack had the issue with him for so long. Like, what are you gonna do with your life?
Mm-hmm.
So, but all I know is that Lily, Victoria, and Phyllis have all tried to, I don't want to say tame, but they've all tried to figure out a way to lock down Billy Abbott, and it just don't work because I don't know who he's compatible with at this point. Maybe Chelsea, because Chelsea is just as well. Chelsea's getting her life together, so hopefully she's going the right path.
Mm-hmm.
She'll probably end up going back to work and stuff like that. But I don't know. Billy is Billy.
Yeah.
Billy is Billy. So let's talk about Chelsea for a minute because she made a lot of amends this week. She made amends with Adam. She made amends with Billy. She made amends with Victoria and
Mm-hmm.
Sharon.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was a pretty good move. I actually saw another TV show in a whole different sphere where
Mm-hmm.
I seen the same type of ideology happen to help them get through whatever the issues that they had. So obviously, this is something that they must do in the psychological world.
Yeah, I've seen that. I've seen that same thing play out on other TV shows too.
Yeah, I honestly think because it frees yourself. If you can come to some, because if you walk around and people are pissed off at you, you pissed off at them, you walking on eggshells, the tension is so thick with a knife you can cut it, you're not going to be comfortable in that space. When you make amends,
Mm-hmm.
apologize and be sincere about things and hash it out, whether that person will accept it or not, you pretty much have freed yourself.
Yeah.
So I honestly I like the way that they did that because and they had her take accountability. That's the
Yep.
thing. That's huge right now because a lot of times like Billy, we all he wants to blame and point the finger and do all this so kind of stuff, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But and we even started with Phyllis. Phyllis did a lot of actions, but it's always somebody else's fault. Chelsea
Yes.
took a lot. I apologize for what I did in Myanmar. I apologize for throwing this whole mommy bio mom thing on Johnny. I apologize to Adam for almost trying to set him up for attempted murder. All of that type of stuff. You have to do that. You got to take ownership of your part in this situation. Now, did they do some things? Yes, but she did too. What's your thoughts?
Yes. Yeah. Um, I liked the whole apology tour um, that Chelsea did. I especially was surprised about the her apology to Billy, like her bringing up that past. And I'm
And
like,
if you
man,
want to
when
use
you think
that,
about it,
if you want to use that word in the comment section, and when we talk, we can say grape, GRAPE. So go ahead.
um, just the fact that they even brought up that situation,
Mm-hmm.
I felt like was kind of that was a pretty responsible thing for the writers because they could have totally ignored that whole
Yeah.
thing.
Yep.
Like we all know that happened back in the day,
Mm-hmm.
um, and but they could have totally ignored that and not have brought that up. They could have just had her focus on the drama that happened with Johnny.
Mm-hmm.
Um, but the fact that they had her apologize for the initial incident that brought them into each other's lives, I thought that was huge
Mm-hmm.
and important that they did that.
Yep. I'm glad that they did that because I honestly think as a person you can grow when you look and say what did I do wrong in this situation? What do I need to
Mm-hmm.
change? Because it allows you to change from that. If you don't think you've done anything wrong, there's no growth from that. When you clearly have done some things. You know what I'm saying? So yeah,
Right.
I think that's good. Honey Smile says Chelsea and Billy were good together, but I miss Billy Miller and Victoria. I will say Amelia Hindley and Billy Miller, that Billy and Victoria were awesome together. They had a lot of chemistry. You
He
remember
was
Billy Miller?
probably my favorite Billy.
Yeah, he was. He was. I was so sad to see him go. Not saying thing Jason Thompson and the other Billy, but yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I remember. So the Billy, I think right after Billy Miller,
Hmm.
I felt like was a more he was a more goody a goody goody type
Self
of Billy.
righteous.
Like there was something. What'd you say?
Self righteous.
No, not self righteous,
Hmm.
but for some reason I could never see him as a rebel
Okay.
because he just seemed like and I don't, maybe it was because I'd seen him in other things before.
Hmm.
Um, but he just seemed like too good of a like I guess that actor in general just feels like a really good guy. So it was hard to picture him being a rebel when he was playing Billy on here.
Hmm.
So then having them bring Jason or what is his real name? I'm sorry.
Jason Thompson.
Jason Thompson. Okay. Having them bring him on kind of reverted back to the type of Billy that Billy Miller was. But I still feel like Billy Miller was the He was the perfect Billy.
Yep, I agree. I agree. I really enjoy that. Ethel says that I hate that Billy acted like being raped by Chelsea was not a big deal. Yeah, that's a big deal. I mean, and the fact that she wanted to make amends for that, he got to let her have that one. And then she
Yeah.
also brought that up with Victoria as well, that she tried
Yep.
to undermine their marriage.
Yep, she did.
So I got to give her kudos for that. Melanie says, I hope Chelsea keeps her promises not to go back to her con ways of hurting Connor and everyone else. And then Ethel said, yeah, she also loved when Billy Miller was on the show. So, yes, yes, yes. All right.
And I like how
Mm-hmm.
she explained to Adam, like
Mm-hmm.
when she gave Adam his apology, and Adam was like, you don't need to do this." And she's like, "I know you may not feel like you need it, but I need to do it. Like, I need to apologize to you. Basically, you can accept it, or if you want to, if you have words about it or feel like you need to apologize to me later on, then you can do that. That's on you. But right now, I need to apologize so I can get this out and like basically start my healing journey." I like how she explained that to him.
Yep.
Hmm?
Yep, she did a good job.
Hold
Melanie
on just a
says,
second. Sorry.
Melanie says, I did not like the way Chelsea drug Billy to sleep with her and coming to town to get between Billy and Victoria. Billy acting like nothing happened, what Chelsea did to him. I agree. I mean, he tried to he tried to downplay it, which was bad. Um, you still there? Okay, she's oh, there you are. I'm like, dude,
Okay,
what
I'm
happened?
back.
Yeah, okay, no problem. All right. So speaking of accountability, because like I said, she made amends to all of that, including Sharon with the race situation and everything. Somebody that is taking zero accountability is Phyllis.
Of course. Are we surprised?
Oh my God. I mean, Phyllis.
Horrible.
Amanda told her months ago to let this go.
Mm-hmm.
She's ruined her relationship with Jack. Now, granted, Jack got some issues in this too, because that whole thing. Diane has been unpacking lies one by one.
Right.
But her actions, this whole teaming up, and see, that's why I knew it was going to blow up in her face because of the fact that Nikki can go back to her cushy Newman life, right?
Mm-hmm.
Ashley might get the raft of maybe Jack or whatever, but she's still going to always be an Abbott. Phyllis is
Yep.
going to be left in the cold.
Exactly. And
And
that's what we've been saying that from the beginning when they started this whole little triangle.
yeah, this whole evil trifecta.
Mm-hmm.
um, yeah, I mean, I agree with Aditya. Phyllis is infuriating. She could wear a saint out, and then, hey, did you, Denny? The Phyllis slander would not be appreciated. Oh my God! So you obviously, Digi is a Phyllis fan. Melanie says Phyllis told Lauren and Michael that it's not fair that I go to work, but Adam is never at work, but at the bars drinking all day. Lord. Well, first of all, what's his name? Kyle don't even want to see him at the office. So I
Right.
think Adam has been trying to avoid running into anybody at Jabot. Maybe he works remote.
And he works for Jabot. He doesn't work for Marchetti.
Exactly. You know,
And also, he don't know what Adam is doing on his day to day. Like, just
exactly.
because you showed up at the bar at the same time he did doesn't mean that he's there every day drinking all day long. Like, that didn't even make sense.
That didn't make sense. But that's the thing is she's always either looking to deflect or blame somebody else for her problem, and she have been for months. The moment that what is that lady name? Talia Morgan came into town back earlier this late this summer, earlier this fall, and her daughter specifically is like, why are you talking to that woman? Why are you hanging out with my grandmother? Why are you hanging out with my aunt? I mean, with
Mm-hmm.
Ashley. And oh, nothing, we're just talking. She's lied and gaslit that girl for months.
Yes, yes, she did. And I like Phyllis too. Your commenter
Did you,
that
Denny?
said that, yes, Phyllis has always been one of my favorites. I've always loved Phyllis, but these past few months have just been, from the moment they brought Diane back, she's just been actually, it started before that when she purposely destroyed her relationship with Nick. That was when Phyllis started to get on my nerves.
Yep.
But then when Diane came back, she just started to be outrageous with, her actions and the stuff that she was doing.
And it made her look like she was losing it at some point because she was spazzing out.
It did. And yes, she's right about Diane. Diane has lied. She's been lying since she came back. Mm-hmm. But like we have been saying, she should have just let Diane make herself look bad.
Exactly.
And even when those lies came out, Kyle still wants her around.
Exactly.
Like, it doesn't matter what Phyllis feels or what she thinks. This is Kyle's mind. Mm-hmm. And if Kyle is willing to accept her lies
and there's nothing you can do with
her,
that.
Then, there's nothing that she can do about that. And what she's trying to do is force everybody to hate Diane like she hates Diane. And it's not working. And that's why Phyllis is so mad. And even after this, so like the only thing right now that could possibly hurt her relationship with Kyle is if she is lying about this whole Jeremy Stark thing and working with him,
right,
to get this money from Jack.
Right.
That would be the only thing that would possibly damage her relationship with Kyle and would, definitely damage her whatever progress that she's made with Jack. But this is all stuff that Phyllis, Ashley, and Nikki haven't really done anything to get Diane, I guess, in trouble with Kyle and Jack, because everything so far I feel like has come out organically, other than the fact that Diane confessed to a few things because she felt like, they were ganging up on her and she didn't want to harbor any more secrets or whatever, even though I feel like she still is. But all this stuff would have come out eventually without them sticking their nose in it. So all Phyllis really did, like you said, was damage her relationship with her daughter, damage her relationship with Jack, and Diane is looking like the victim right now.
Yeah, they should have let Diane basically fall on her own.
Yep.
I don't know if I could say that word.
She was going to do that.
Yeah, she was eventually going to fall on her own. And the thing is, and I said this last week, and I probably said this in previous videos and other podcasts, Kyle is the catalyst in this. If you don't change Kyle's mind, any and everything that any of those ladies do is not going to make a difference. It's just not.
And she keeps trying to make it about, I'm just trying to protect you and Kyle. And it's like, no, that's not what it has anything to do with. I feel like this all has to do with Jack. Mm-hmm. I don't think she cares one way or another if Kyle has a relationship with his mom. This is because Jack and Diane we're getting close to each other. That's what her problem is.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay, Sabrina is team Phyllis. Nana Rob number 8. Phyllis will be Phyllis. She's a very good actress, but Diane Heifer is still lying and hiding stuff. I don't believe her true colors have been completely exposed yet. I agree with you. I think Diane has opened one lie after the other. The problem is that the actions, Phyllis should have just let her fall on her own. That's the thing with Phyllis bringing this dude to, because even Nikki and Ashley wasn't so open to bringing the Stark guy to town. Right. She went rogue and decided to bring this guy to town, and now he's roaming through there, and now Jack is pissed at you doing that, and that's what she don't see. We all know what Diane is capable of, right? And obviously Kyle's been accepting everything that's been coming out. The problem is when you stick your hand in there and make it worse.
Yes, and that's what she has done.
That's what it is. If Phyllis could came out of this thing looking like an angel, she could have put her 2 cents on the table and say, "Look, I'm telling you, girlfriend is hiding something.
Yep.
Take a step back and let them see it for themselves." But because she's manipulating, bringing the guy to town, getting involved with Talia Morgan, and you've been lying to your daughter for months, of course, it's not gonna go your way. It's just not.
Right.
And then you
Right.
get to the end of this whole thing, realizing that it now has blown up, and you still is not saying, you know what, I screwed up.
Yeah. Instead, she's like, "Don't I get credit for telling Jeremy to leave town or to because I'm not trying to find Diane for him or whatever it was that she excuse
Mm-hmm.
she came up with?" And
Yeah,
it's
because
like,
she went into
no, you
Jack's
don't get credit
office.
for that.
Yeah, remember she went into Jack's office and talking about, okay, I met with Stark and I did this and I told the truth. And yes, it was me. And he was like, look, it's a day late and a dollar short.
Right.
Because I guess she had been telling Jack she hasn't brought this
She's
guy.
been telling everybody she hasn't been bringing. She didn't bring him to town.
Right. Yep.
So yeah, no, you can't lie to us for weeks and then expect us to forgive you because you defended Diane for 2 seconds to Jeremy Stark.
Right.
No.
2 seconds. You've been lying for months.
And she keeps
Months.
saying, "I didn't bring him to town. Diane was the one that brought him into our lives." And you know what? I feel like even if Phyllis had not done what she done, Jeremy was still going to find Diane.
Yeah,
So that
but
would have
that
been
would have
another. If
been
you would have just backed off and let it
right.
happen, then this would have all been on Diane, and none of it would have been on you.
Exactly. If you knew that that guy would eventually found Diane and came to town, then you should have just let that happen. And then your name
Yeah,
would have been completely in the clear. All
yeah.
right. Aditya says Phyllis is like that relative at a party everyone knows because she's the biggest gossip and everyone is laughing until she starts talking about you and it's not funny anymore. um Melanie said it was a slap in the face that Summer fired Phyllis, but Summer wants to go back to being a family, but Phyllis should just cut ties with her. It would be good that Daniel will work with his mom.
I don't agree with that because they warned Phyllis up front.
Mm-hmm.
If you did anything, started any type of drama between you and Diane, they did the same thing with Diane.
Mm-hmm.
If any drama happens, you're we're not dealing with it. We're gonna terminate you. And she didn't listen. She took that job knowing that she was taking it for the purpose of watching Diane and you know doing whatever she needed to do to prove Diane was a liar.
Mm-hmm.
And she did all of this stuff. She got caught and she got fired. Like they warned her about that.
Yeah,
Now,
they both were put on notice. You cause
yep,
drama, you're done.
yeah.
Yep.
So she can't be
Mhm.
mad now because they lived up to their word. Like they warned you ahead of time.
Mhm. Honey Smile said, I understand why Phyllis goes to the length she goes over Diane. She faked the death and other innocent people are to blame for it. I wouldn't want Diane around either. Yeah, but the problem with that is that Kyle wants her around.
Right. You can't force somebody's child to turn their back on their mom if they don't want to do it. And she's trying to force it
Mm-hmm.
instead of just backing off and letting them see whatever mess Diane has created for herself on their own. Like
Yep.
you can't force them. It's like that friend that's dating the guy that you know is bad for them, and
Mm-hmm.
you keep trying to tell them this guy is bad for you. You keep laying out all these examples of why, but because they're so in love with this individual, they don't want to see it until that person does something very damaging to them, and then they snap out of it. Like that's just what's going to have to happen with Kyle
Mm-hmm. Yep.
and Jack.
Yep. Diane has been along with Jeremy Stark several times, and I have not seen any evidence of them working together. Okay, Ethel. Nana says, oh, she agreed with Corley. Summer took it way too far. I don't agree with that. If my thing is, if my daughter has a business and I come in there bringing havoc, drama, bringing
Mm-hmm.
criminals to town. This guy
Yep.
is coming up to Jabot. He's showing
Yep.
up at the house. Yeah, I mean, I'm gonna get fired. I mean, I've seen people fired over things they said on TikTok. So I can
Yeah.
imagine.
And it's clear that Phyllis cannot be. She can't be controlled in any way. So I don't want you. That's another. That would be another reason.
Hmm.
How can I trust you at the company to do what me as your CEO or COO, whatever role it is that Summer and Kyle have? How can I trust you to do what we're asking you to do if you can't even do what we're asking you to do when it comes to Diane and this whole vendetta you have against her?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, yeah, he's looking for Diane, but you brought this man to town and he's showing up on Abbott corporate property and Abbott personal property at the estate. I mean, I don't there's no way that that's acceptable. Now, can we
Yeah.
still be family? Sure. I mean, that's business. I understand, but that whole thing, no, I don't want no criminal who just got out of jail for all of these white collar crimes. Now you showing up at the job and at the house because you brought him here. No. All
Yeah.
right. Oh boy, listen, I gotta get. There is a bot in here that's dropping dating corn CORN links in my chat. Hold
Oh
on,
Lord.
let me block this. Block user. Okay, reload. Okay, he's gone. All right, so yeah, I Phyllis has to. I mean, the sole purpose of her selling the Grand Phoenix to go over to Marquetti, she wants to ride on that whole thing of, oh, I wanted to be over there to protect my daughter and I wanted to work with my daughter. No, you wanted to go over there and sabotage Diane.
Right.
It was the part of the plan that you made when you were talking to Nikki and Ashley in the beginning. I'm gonna
Yep.
go over there and I'm gonna work with her. And I'm gonna do this with Diane, and we gotta figure out a way to get her out of town. Hey, it just blew up in your face.
Yeah, it did. And I don't think even after they find out if there is more to what Diane is doing, like
Mm-hmm.
if she still is lying to them about something,
Mm-hmm.
I don't think that even if that comes out, that they would owe Phyllis an apology because she still did. She still lied to them.
Mm-hmm.
She still caused all kinds of chaos. So no, I'm not going to apologize to you because I asked you to not do this for the sake of our relationship, for the sake of you working at that company, and you did it anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Regardless of what comes out about Diane, you still did this when I asked you not to. You still lied to me for weeks when I asked you to tell me the truth and be honest.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Nana Rob number 8 says Diane kept running to Jack with new information and her past lies every 2 seconds with her crooked past and doing, but she remains in the fold. She's no better than or different than Phyllis. She's remaining in the fold because Kyle is allowing her to be there. If Kyle say, I'm done, Jack would be done. I really believe that. Jack is only pacifying the situation because of Kyle. Kyle is the
Mm-hmm.
catalyst in this. If Kyle don't cut ties, there's nothing that anybody in that town can do.
Right.
I like Phyllis, but I have to agree with Summer. What Summer did, you can't have an employee work for you that's causing trouble, even if she's your mother. I agree with that. That man is coming onto the Jabot property. How he even
Yeah.
get in the building? My thing is, as a in that C suite, they should put a message down to security. If you see this guy, he's not allowed in the building. He came
Right.
up there twice.
Right. And he how many times has he been to the Abbott house?
I think twice. But then Jack told him he's no longer welcome there or whatever. And I haven't seen him at Abbott Estate, but he's been showing up at Jabot. It's like, dude,
Yeah.
I mean, security. How y'all letting this dude up to the C suite? You're not
Right.
talking about he getting into the mail room or customer service department. He's in the C-suite. um. Okay. Let's see what else we got. Jack, Kyle, Summer are betraying everyone that Diane is hiding out at the cabin, but can't wait till there's more secrets to Diane. I don't think it's more of a betrayal per se. Do
Yeah,
you think that's a betrayal, not telling everybody where Diane is?
absolutely not. It's none of their business.
Mm-mm.
Like, what business is it of Ashley or Phyllis's or Nikki's or anybody else in that town where Diane is?
I think the reason that they're Melanie, I think the reason that they're keeping that a secret is because look at all the chaos that the evil trifecta have brought on up to this point. So if they tell everybody where she is, it's only going to cause more problems. Now,
Yeah,
from this point forward, Diane does something she did because I understand from what I've read or seen in the spoilers that she's supposed to be missing.
mm,
And Kyle is going to be concerned because they're going to go up to the cabin to bring her Christmas presents and stuff like that, and she's going to be MIA.
which was stupid. Like, if you guys are going to hide her, then going back and forth to visit her
Somebody's
isn't
watching you,
smart because, yeah, because you're going to be, because obviously Stark doesn't believe that they don't know where Diane is.
right? And
And
that's
they even said that they're not sure if he's like buying what they were selling. So if you're not sure, then it's probably smart for you to, like, for real, stay away from the cabin just in
right.
case he's watching you guys.
Exactly. Exactly. Adita say, why is Diane the only one who has to tell all of her business and secrets, but not Phyllis and Nikki and Ashley? I'm quite sure all of them still have a lot of secrets, not just Diane. Well, yeah, that's true. If it wasn't for Kyle, Diane would be sent packing. Exactly, Alto. I mean, he's the catalyst in this situation. If once Kyle cut the cord, she's done. Jeremy
Yep.
said he was sneaking past security. Ah, okay. So that's how he got up there. All right.
So security need to be fired,
So
basically.
yeah, security need to be fired because how you not watching all of the building?
Right.
Jeremy said he persuaded security. Oh yeah, you gotta go.
Definitely need to be fired.
How you gonna what you gonna pay security to
And for what? Just to get up there to talk to them when you could just
Oh my god. Oh yeah.
find them at the bar?
If I was Jack, I'd be like, you know what? Emergency meeting at 2 p.m. in the conference room. To security and make sure you bring everything out of your desk. I'm gonna send each of you a box.
Right.
Um, I read in the spoilers somewhere that Jeremy is going to kidnap Diane. Yeah, but the only way he finds that out is because they keep going up there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and it says I think Jeremy is going to follow Kyle to the cabin. Kyle is his own man and doesn't need protection for his feelings. Nobody can stop him from seeing his mom, Diane. However, Phyllis has issues with Diane that has nothing to do with Kyle. That's been issue for years. That's true.
Mm-hmm.
Mary Hilburn said there are so many secrets going on here. What about Tucker? Yes, yes, yes. Was that
Yeah.
this week that he slept with Audra?
That was last
That
week.
was last week. Okay.
Yeah.
Jeremy popping up like Victor was funny to me. Oh yeah, that was funny when he popped up on Phyllis.
Yeah.
Cause Victor usually do that. You turn around, Victor standing there with that evil grin.
Yeah.
Jeremy doesn't seem like he's another Victor, except he's less talkative. He does seem like he's another Victor, except he's less talkative. Jeremy is a gangster. I expect anything from him. And when Jeremy sneaked on Phyllis, her face was terrifying. Well, hey, she brought him to town.
Yep.
She brought him to town.
Yeah. So I don't really feel sorry for her.
Nope.
She bit off more than she could chew.
Yes, she did. Maybe Jeremy and Victoria will marry each other since she loves and admires her daddy
Okay.
so much. Okay, I didn't see that one. All right.
You know
Um.
what else doesn't make sense about this? This whole situation is them. So, like, they're playing to hide. They're hiding Diane,
Mm-hmm.
and their plan is to try to convince Jeremy that she left town, and then to also give him whatever money it is that Diane owed him. And I still don't understand why they feel like they need to give this man money. Like this wasn't some type of legal, contractual, um, agreements that him and Diane had between each other that she owed him this money. So are they feel the need to pay him so he'll leave Diane alone?
Yeah, that's what that is. They're
And
trying to
that just
pay.
doesn't make sense. I'm not giving you anything
And
because
here's the other
somebody
thing.
like him is going to come back for more.
Well, here's the other thing. He don't even know how much is owed. That man could say, okay, yeah, you want to pay me out? All right, it's $500 million. You
Yep,
just gonna say, just tell us what you want. That's stupid.
it is stupid, and it just that doesn't make sense.
No.
What are you going to do if I don't give you this money? What are you going to do if Diane doesn't give you this money? Are you threatening to kill her? Because if that's the case, then I'm going to the police. You
Right.
just got out of jail and you're
Exactly.
threatening to kill people. So you can go ahead with your empty threats, or I don't know, empty or not, your threats if you want to, but we taking this to the law. I'm
Mm.
not giving you, you're not going to coerce money out of me or blackmail me or, you know, whatever to try to get money out of me or Diane. So, like, what do you want to do here?
Exactly. It's like, dude, it's just a stupid move. It's like, really? Um, Hold on. Jeremy reminds me of Ashlyn Locke. Hmm. Interesting. Ashlyn Locke sounded like a Karn artist. I think Victoria and Nate make a pair. You know what? They threw me for a loop with that situation, though. Because originally I thought they were telling us in the spoilers with Victoria and Nate that when they go on the weekend trip, he was going to try to bring Elena with him, and
Mm-hmm.
Victoria was going to try to talk him out of it and say no. But then when we saw the episode, Elena actually said she can't go because she had to work. I'm like,
Yeah.
really?
Yep. Somebody read those spoilers wrong.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Or,
They're billionaires. It was cool. Okay. All right. So, did we miss anything, or did we cover everything with this whole Phyllis situation? Oh, her getting a job with Daniel.
oh, yeah.
She was in. She didn't even make it to the unemployment office. She went straight from dealing with Summer getting fired to now working with Daniel over at Chance the Winners.
Yep.
You think that's a good move?
I guess we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Um, I mean, she doesn't have any reason to cause drama over there because Diane isn't there. So maybe she'll actually, like, for real do her job and not be so wrapped up in spying on somebody or trying to get somebody in trouble for something.
Yeah. You know what I honestly think though? I
Well,
think they're driving Phyllis so far deep in this hole that something huge is about to happen with Diane, which is going to make Jack and Kyle look stupid. I don't
oh,
know, because they're
absolutely.
driving Phyllis to the brink of this whole thing where she can actually come back and say, really, I told you so. Even though Michael tried to say, I told you so, it's going to bite you in the butt. But I
Yeah, oh,
honestly,
for sure. At the end of the day, when all this is said and done with this Diane situation and Jeremy Stark, I fully believe that Diane is going to be there, or Diane is had a plan to scam them all along, and is going to prove Phyllis right. I have no doubt about that.
mm-hmm. Yeah,
It's just frustrating the way Phyllis just will not just let it happen and move on with your life and stop ruining your relationships. Like she's so destructive.
she is.
She's so destructive. Just like the way she destroyed her relationship with Nick. She's like she gets her mindset to something, and it's like she tears everything down around her until she gets what she wants.
Yeah,
And
it's
it's just not
crazy.
it's unhealthy, and it's not even worth it.
It's not worth it. Mm-mm. Nope. Also, right quick, we need to talk about Tucker and Ashley
Mm-hmm.
because this man is trying to talk her out of staying in Jabot. and start their own
Yeah, I'm
company.
still confused about what his plan is to try to get Jabon. Like, how does he think that's gonna work?
I don't know. That's that whole divide and conquer thing, and actually, he wants his hand over. And I think even Ashley brought this up this week. You trying to come in between Devon and his company and me and Jack, and I'm like, well, there's the whole brother versus sister thing he was talking about. So I don't know. I don't know what he wants with her being separate from Jabot. I don't know. That's
Yeah.
interesting. I guess it's gonna come out. But Tucker is hilarious. I gotta give it to the actor. He is just that dude is funny and he's so chill about it. He even told Phyllis, you know what, you need a Zen moment.
Yeah, he is pretty hilarious.
He is funny. All right. I know that they are ready to dive into bold.
What'd you say?
I said I know that everybody is ready to dive into the bold and the beautiful. I want
Oh
them
yeah. Oh wait,
to
we forgot. Not that it was like anything huge, but Noah came clean with Allie about Audra,
yeah. But did you hear
which
his
I'm glad he did.
response though?
What'd you say?
Did you hear his response though? Because she was like, did you kiss her back? And he was like, I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm like, dude, if you kiss that girl back. Come
Yeah, he
on.
did.
He kissed that
I
girl
mean, he
back.
pushed her away eventually, but he did. He did kiss her back.
He did. He felt something. And then he was like, oh, no, 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 I can't do this.
I'm convinced that she's lying about her pregnancy.
You think so?
I feel like she's lying about that. I feel like she's using that to
Sympathy?
yep, for sympathy to get back in like some type of good graces with Noah, because he was basically didn't want anything to do with her before she told him that.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know. I feel like it's going to come out later that she was never pregnant.
Yep. It wouldn't surprise me, girl. It wouldn't surprise me. I honestly think the moment she dropped that bombshell, I gave her the side eye on that one.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's like, how did you just come out of nowhere with that? And she obviously she knows that he will have a soft side to that statement.
Right.
So, anywho, all right, I think we covered everything on the Young and the Restless side, right?
Yep.
Okay, let's move on to the bold and the beautiful. A very interesting week to say the least. We got to see no Thomas this week. And here's the thing, before I do the summary,
Mm-hmm.
there was something that said that Ridge was going to have it out with Thomas, that he was going to get fired from the company. That was going on for the last couple of weeks. We didn't get any of that yet. He's just been
Yeah.
non-existent. We didn't see Ridge for a while, and it's been focused around, of course, this thing with Sheila Carter and the whole situation with Brooke and Taylor. So,
Yeah.
all right. Anywho, let's go ahead and do the summary. And we're gonna unpack the bold and the beautiful. Sheila slipped away from. Shut up. You laughing at me. Sheila slipped away from being caught. Deacon erased surveillance footage. Brooke and Taylor chose themselves over a relationship with Ridge and have a celebration, which was surprising to Hope and Steffi. All right, where you want to go first? We can't forget about Bill and Katie too.
Let's start with them.
Go ahead.
Uh, this this complete shift from Brooke being the love of his life to now needing to be with Katie is just chaotic. Like, this man, in the span of a month or two, has gone from help me get Katie back to you're the love of my life, Brooke. It's always been you. I need to be with you. Back to I need my Katie. I need to be with my Katie family. And it's like, you need some help. You just don't want to be alone, is what it is. And you are, I think he's basically he's just jumping from woman to woman. One woman rejected him, so now he's gonna go try to go back to the other one, and it's pathetic and it's sad. And I'm annoyed that Katie, yes, I think that was yesterday's episode, is falling for it. I'm Because she told Carter she was worried about Bill. He's the father of my child. I'm worried about him. And it's like, I understand always having, those feelings for someone that you used to be married to. He's the father of your son. Like, I get that, but I feel like he's using that as an excuse to get Katie to be close to him. Like, he's using the fact that they have a child together and that they used to be married, or she's using that, I'm sorry, as an excuse to, I guess, be there for him in a way that I feel like she doesn't need to be. Like, Bill isn't going through some hard time right now. He's just mad that he got rejected.
Right.
And you're falling for, his little poor me act.
Right. Yep, I agree with you on that. I gave a side eye to Katie on that one yesterday because Carter was straight up saying, "Listen, you know what he's trying to do." And
Right.
she was like, "But I need to see what he wants because I want to make sure he's okay." And Carter was like, "You're not responsible for his emotions or something," he said.
Yeah.
And she was like, "But I am, because I need to make sure he's in a good headspace. He's the father of my son." And I listen, I
You send him
understand.
to therapy.
Right. He need to go talk to somebody. And I mean, he got two grown sons who can
Yep.
help him with that.
Yes.
You got
2
Wyatt
grown
and
sons.
Liam.
He's got a sister.
Yeah, he got people who could help him with that, not you.
Yeah.
Especially the fact that Carter defended you and your honor and what happened. And then you go over there, come on, I need to make sure he's okay.
Right.
Girl.
And if I was Carter, I'm like, well, this is a red flag, because it sounds like
Yep.
you're always going to put him ahead of anybody.
Yep.
It's always Bill is going to be put ahead of you of me if we do like venture into a relationship because he's the father of your child. That's not healthy.
Nope, because every time something comes up, Bill can do the same thing. Who did that? Victoria used to do that when
Yep.
Lily and Billy first started dating. Something wrong with the kids. Something going on with this. I don't know what. He can always do that.
Right.
Okay.
And he will, because you know how manipulative Bill can be.
Yep. Adita said, "I think Katie and the Logan sisters have driven Bill crazy. Bill needs to forget the Logan sisters and be with Lee." They have been talking about that whole connection for a while. They even tried it. I don't know if they backed away from it, maybe because they didn't see, the on-screen chemistry, but why not? I mean, because they had lunch together, they were making googly eyes at each other, and then it just ended.
Yeah. It did just abruptly put an axe in that one.
Yep. Forrester Creation don't have any designers. Eric is pretty much retired. Ridge is the CEO. When only see Dzende in the credits. They need Thomas. Yeah, they need Thomas. I will say I can tell in the ratings, I can tell in viewership analytics that once that whole Thomas debacle and the wedding thing ended, if it hit a steep cliff.
Mm-hmm.
Because he brought a lot. I got to give him. He's on vacation during this time period, Matt Atkinson, because he was out traveling with his girlfriend, and they were going to mountains and everything else. So I can understand he need a break, but you can tell the difference. And a lot of people got bored with the Sheila thing. I was shocked. I guess they're sick and tired of seeing Sheila.
Sheila and her missing toe.
Her missing toe. No matter
I
what.
so
Oh,
it did start to get boring up until now that they know that Sheila's alive. Now it's starting to, I feel like, pick up a little
back
bit more
up.
traction because there's some movement, and it's not just them showing Sheila in Deacon's apartment
Right.
having the same conversation.
Right. Gotcha. Um, Bill says no matter what, Bill will always love Brooke. Yeah, I can say that. Bill was once a devoted husband, couldn't stand Brooke or Donna, and even called them HOEs. And I should maybe I just say 304. Called them 304s. And then when Katie supposedly got postpartum and started trying to match, make Brill is what started this. Oh yeah, that's right. Cause yeah, she did tell Brooke to take care of the kid and Bill.
Yeah.
Bill need to hook up with Lee. They'll be good together. Bill is pathetic, but he's so used to Katie not having a backbone and giving him the chance after chance once Brooke dumps him. That's a good point. Katie asks how everything went wrong and she doesn't remember she started this mess. Okay.
Yeah, but how long ago was that? I mean,
As old as Will, ain't it? Cause Will was a
yeah.
baby.
So it can't keep going back to this is Katie's fault, because at one point she thought she was not going to make it and asked her sister to take care of her son and her husband. Yeah, was that stupid? Sure, it was dumb. But after a decade, either you want to be with me or you want to be with my sister. And if you have feelings for my sister like that, then you need to completely leave me alone.
Right. Yep.
Which is what she basically told Bill last time. Like you're always going to go back to Brooke. So Bill just needs to stop trying to convince Katie that he wants to be with her, because it's not true.
Mm-hmm.
It's not true unless Brooke doesn't want him.
Yep. Before we move on, guys, if you haven't hit that like button, please hit the like button so we can let YouTube know that, to continue to recommend the content. And if you haven't subscribed already, hit that subscribe button. Um, so you can continue to watch and get the content. On the podcast side, I still want to thank my OGs for hanging out with us for 3 years. I know I talk YouTube. On the anchor side of the world, I appreciate you for coming back for the last 3, almost 4 years. So I just wanted to put that out there, a little bit of housekeeping right there. Um, Okay, what did she say? I really want to build with Lee, but he doesn't derive anything but that stupid necklace. Yeah, I wonder why they brought the necklace back.
I guess trying to show that he's back to his old ways. I don't know.
But the interesting thing about this, unless something is coming up down the road in the next couple of weeks, he put the necklace on early this week to say make it like he's going dark, right? But then at the end of the week, he's crying. It's like the math ain't mathing right there. It's like you gonna make him go dark and then you turn him into this, unless that's all manipulation. But I don't know. I can't see Bill. Can you see Bill using his tears as manipulation?
It was a little awkward when he was talking to Katie and was basically begging her to take him back. It was very awkward to see him like that, because we're not used to seeing Bill vulnerable or teary-eyed. It was a little weird.
Yeah, I agree. It was weird. I was like, big bad dollar bill Spencer, the guy that walks around in black clothes all the time, and I'm like, what?
Right.
Okay, Thomas has been off the grid because he's embarrassed for all of the horrible things he's done to everybody. I don't feel sorry for him because karma came to him.
Is he embarrassed though?
Not the way he approached Brooke last week. Brooke was like, what would he say? How's it going?
Yeah, he walked up in that office like they didn't just find out that he framed her for calling CBS.
Right.
I don't think he is embarrassed.
Now, I mean, obviously he's not leaving the show, so they're gonna probably come back with something with him, but I don't think it's a redemption. It's probably going to be something where he might go and do something for somebody else.
Take revenge on Brooke for ruining his life or something.
Yes. And I mean, yeah, we'll talk about the whole Ridge thing too. First argument was Bill wanted to drop his sisters Brooke and Donna, calling them 304s, and she wouldn't do it. Second argument, she accused him or nagged him about drinking as though he was a drunk, and he wasn't. And then Steffi got involved. Oh, I guess she going down through the history of where Katie starts a mess with Bill.
Mm-hmm.
Bill wears the sword necklace for protection. I mean, protection from what? Just going to go back to his dark side to be evil again? Yeah, that's a good question. Third argument, he almost got with Steffi because Katie was still nagging him, and then Storm's heart, so he stayed with Katie. Fourth argument. Katie had postpartum and made several attempts to put them together with candlelight dinners and balloon rides. It worked. And then I guess there's a fifth argument. It's been down here ever since then between Bill and Katie. So Katie has only herself to blame for this mess, postpartum or not.
No, absolutely not.
Digi Denny says hashtag free my boy Thomas. Oh my god, Digi Denny is hilarious. So yeah, he started a hashtag. Anybody that want to jump on his hashtag, the free Thomas, there you got it.
So my
Mhm.
response to those arguments for Bill
Mhm.
is, again, yes, initially it was Katie's idea to put them together, try to match make them.
Mhm.
It ended up working. Okay, so then after Bill and Brooke ran their course the first time, and Bill and Katie decided to get back together. That At that point, you need to be done with her sister, regardless of whatever the history is.
Right.
You need to be done with Brooke because you have agreed to get back together with Katie. And if you are not done with Brooke, then just leave Katie alone. Be honest with Katie and tell her, you know what, my feelings are too strong for your sister. This is not going to work. But he doesn't do that. He just, when him and Katie are not together, he tries to convince Brooke to be with him. And when Brooke rejects him, then he wants to run back to Katie. And Katie she did finally accept that. She finally accepted that Bill will always run to Brooke when Brooke is available. And she told him that. And
Yep.
she said that she's done with it. So Katie isn't the one trying to get back together with Bill right now. Bill is trying to do that with Katie. And Katie is telling him, no, because your feelings for my sister are too strong. So Katie isn't doing anything wrong right now. I mean, are her feelings hurt, or were her feelings hurt when she found out that Bill ran over to Brooks when her and Ridge got their annulment?
Mhm.
Yeah, I'm sure she felt some kind of way about it because Bill was literally just the week before that trying to get back together with Katie. But obviously, Katie has accepted that. She has accepted that Bill is always going to be in love with Brooke. And that's why she's rejecting him.
Yep.
So, I mean, I don't know where there's an argument in this situation, because right now Bill is the one trying to convince Katie to get back together with him, and Katie is saying no because I know how you feel about my sister.
So Honey Smile 320 says Bill is manipulative. He made Katie think him sleeping with Brooke was in her head until Liam forced Brooke to be honest. Thomas always runs away. He'll pop up one of these days. Bill just crying because he has to come across as a winner. He doesn't really want Katie. He just doesn't want to not have either Brooke or Katie. If Brooke even if Brooke even farts in his direction, he's coming. That's funny. Brooke and Bill were done, but then Katie started accusing him of wanting her sister again and him being a drunk again, and she even threw her ring at him, telling him to take it to Brooke, and he does. She followed him to Brooke, and they were in the bedroom getting ready to get busy. Then she was screaming like a banshee about him going to Brooke and giving him the ring. I remember that. That's old school. Katie learned a lesson to choose herself when she found him kissing her sister. Brooke could have learned a lesson from a long time ago. She should have told Bill no over the phone. And then Shanda Metlin, welcome Shanda. Shanda, I love Brooke, but no matter how Katie pushed them together, she should have not crossed the line with her sister's husband. Bill is losing his mind, and Katie drove Bill crazy. Bill is the mess he's in now because of Katie. Wow. So there's
No
mixed
way.
opinions. I mean, it's
Yeah.
mixed opinions in there about who started where and who didn't. So
Bill is an adult and he needs to take accountability for his own actions and his own feelings. This is not on Katie. It's not on Katie and it's not on Brooke. He has made the decisions that he has made in his life on his own.
yeah, I just the whole sister thing, just like there's this whole thing out here where women have where they don't sleep with their friends' exes,
Mm-hmm.
or sisters don't sleep with their friends' exes. I just think that's the one thing about this show is that, and I'm a soap fan. I'm not a Logan versus Forrester, this, that, and the third. I look at both sides, but I will say from what I've noticed that besides maybe was it Katie? Well, no, because Katie was with Thorne. Katie, Bill, who I don't know her.
Nick. She was with Nick too.
Yeah, those three ladies have been, I guess, circulating between the guys on the show. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? And they've either all been married to the same guys, been with the same guys, whatever. So it's there. I mean, it's just an interesting dynamic when it comes to the bold and the beautiful. I guess because the cast is so small and they refuse to bring on other people. You know what I'm saying? So they just kind of like rotate, it seems. I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. I feel like
Uh,
there used to be more characters back in the day
I
on the
mean, when
show.
Thomas was gone, then we had Maya and her family. We don't even see that family anymore. Then they brought Zoe and Paris. And we don't see much of Paris. Zoe gone. They
Yeah.
rotate folks in and out. The core people,
Marcus.
Marcus,
Yeah.
right? The core people of the show is the three Logan girls and Ridge and Steffi and Eric,
Mm-hmm.
because Taylor just got back to town and Thomas just got back the last few years
Mm-hmm.
because he was over in overseas, international. So
Yeah.
I hold on. It says Brooke is human. Also, her husband had left her. Katie was practically forcing her husband Bill onto her, who knew he may lose his wife. They were both hurting and in pain. Everybody is about Katie's feelings. What about their feelings at the time? Brill didn't ask for that. All three of them are at fault. They crossed lines that they shouldn't have crossed. This soap opera, now I agree with Jenna, and I think that's what we're talking about. The soap opera needs more cast members. It's
Mm-hmm.
boring because they don't have enough.
Yep.
Brooke, Ridge, and Eric are just not enough. And they're the main core.
Yeah. I agree.
Because when Steffi is on maternity leave, because we've had Hope come and go. We had
Mm-hmm.
Steffi come and go because Jacqueline, she had her kids. Um, Taylor's popping in and out. You know what I'm saying? The only people that's been consistently on the show is Ridge, Eric, and Brooke.
Yep.
Because last year we didn't even see, for a while, we didn't see Eric and Quinn. And
Yeah.
then they brought Quinn's situation back with that whole thing with Carter. And then we didn't see Bill for a while.
Yep. Yeah. It was. I feel like it went months without seeing Bill.
Right.
It felt like anyway.
I'm like, dude, I hope these people, that's why a lot of these folks from this show end up going to do other projects because it's just not enough. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
At least on The Young and the Restless, they rotate different storylines so people get a little bit of a bite at the apple. You know what I mean?
Right.
But but Bold, they focus like they spent months focusing on Steffi, Hope, and Liam.
Yeah.
Years.
Yep.
They brought Finn in. We was happy about that. Then they bring Taylor back, and we spent the last 9 months or so with this whole thing with Ridge, Taylor, and Brooke. And it's like y'all got to come up with some more storylines.
Yeah.
I don't blame Courtney Hope for going over to Young and the Restless because it was like eventually she was going to be phased out too.
Yeah, and that's one of the aspects of the show I miss is that rivalry with another fashion house.
Right, with another business. It's a fashion house. I'm like, do anybody work? Liam don't never work. He's always at Forrester.
Always in everybody else's business.
He's either babysitting Brooke like he did for the last 5 months, and then he's at Forrester keeping an eye on Hope and Thomas, and now that's over. He's still over at Forrester. I think I only seen one time when he was in conversation with Bill about something going on at Spencer. It's like, do you really work at Spencer, Liam?
Right.
Now that's what Phyllis should be saying about do somebody have a job? Instead of worry about Adam being at work, does Liam work?
Right. And poor Wyatt is just almost non-existent. He pops up once every 3 months.
I know, but the thing is, I will say that what is his name in real life? I forgot. Darren Brooks.
Brooks, yeah.
Yeah, he's got other projects. That dude is on, is it Amazon, not Amazon or Netflix, one of those streaming services where they have an actual series going on. So he's doing some stuff. He's like, shoot, y'all don't want to put me on Bold and Beautiful, and y'all only giving me once every 2 months. Okay, cool. I'll go do something else. Okay. They definitely like to keep it in the family. That's Denny. On Bold and Beautiful, that has got to be awkward as heck, knowing that everyone else knows what people are working with between the sheets. The saddest thing about this is that they are not letting the next generation have any storylines. We used to have Jackie Maroney. We had Spectra. Where did all of that go? I agree. Yeah. I agree.
And I'd like to see RJ back too.
Yeah, why not bring back RJ and Coco? Remember Coco? Yeah. Why would they put Eric with Donna when he could have had a fabulous story with Quinn? I honestly think Quinn and Eric were great together.
Yeah, I did like them together.
I think they were great together. Quinn was such a good actress. Yes, she was. I miss Quinn. Quinn kept them ladies on their toes, didn't she?
She did.
Oh my gosh, she kept them ladies.
She was fun.
She was fun. I think it's Hallmark. I don't know. Oh, okay, it's the Hallmark. Okay, gotcha. They need to wear Darren Brooks. They need to have Ridge wandering into the streets, going with 304s who's still in what? Okay. I wish Brad Bell would have more characters cross over, shake up the storylines for Y&R. Chelsea is a fashion designer. She could work for Forrester Creations. Phyllis and Bill would be a fun dynamic.
Oh my God. Could you imagine? Could you imagine those two?
Girl, Phyllis with Bill.
That would be scary. But that would be a fun couple to see together.
Oh my God. Honey Smile, that was a good one. I would be interested in that. Phyllis and Bill. I would even be interested in Adam and Hope.
Adam and Hope. Ooh.
Yeah, to bring out that feisty side. They won't put her with Thomas, so at least put her with Hope. I mean, they won't put her with Thomas, at least put her with Adam.
Why not?
No?
That would definitely be different. I'm trying to picture those two together, though.
Could you picture Adam and Steffy together?
Oh, yeah. I could picture those two together.
Could you picture Finn and Hope together?
Yes.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Because I feel like Finn has kind of the same personality as Hope does.
Okay.
Would it be fun to watch? I don't know. but I could picture the two of them together just because they have similar, like, very calming, sweet, easygoing kind of personalities, I guess.
Okay. Vicky. Oh, sorry.
I was gonna say Allie and Thomas.
I don't know about that one.
No.
Mm-mm. Oh no. Allie and Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
How about Thomas and Thomas and Summer?
That would be an interesting match, especially the old Summer.
You don't like the new Summer with Thomas?
No, I mean, yeah, that would be an interesting match too. But I think the old Summer and Thomas would go together more because the old Summer was a little more fiery and spirited than the new Summer. The new Summer kind of reminds me of Hope.
Okay, gotcha. Yeah, she's the opposite of Hunter King.
Yeah.
And then we gotta keep because we be naming folks all day.
I know.
One other person. I mean, I know Audra is new on the scene, but I wouldn't mind seeing Thomas and Audra.
Yeah, that'd be a good one.
And they both schemers anyway.
Yeah.
So, okay, so
Nick, hold on, one more.
Okay.
Nick and Donna.
Nick and Donna. Girl,
Yeah.
Donna runs circles around Nick Newman. Sally is running circles around Nick Newman.
Donna is nowhere near comparable to Sally's personality, though.
I don't know.
Donna is a goofball.
I
feel like.
Okay. Well, okay, one more. Oh my God. Maybe I have to create a whole new video for this one.
Yeah.
Brooke and Jack.
Ooh. I like that one, actually.
Brooke and Jack?
Yeah.
Ooh, Phyllis would be pissed. Yeah, Phyllis would be pissed. Brooke and Jack would sound very, very interesting.
Or Brooke and Tucker.
Brooke and Tucker? This new Tucker?
New Tucker.
I don't know. I think I'll put Tucker with Taylor.
They have I could see that because they have similar.
They're
like,
quirky.
Yes.
They're very quirky. Oh, somebody said they agree. Oh, wait a minute. We got some. Sheila should win the Emmy. Yes, she should. Donna would be good with Tucker. Brooke and Jack would be perfect for each other. Sharon is always going to be with Nick. I forgot about Sharon.
Man, I feel like that has run its course.
Finn and Hope. Somebody said yes to that. Brooke and Phyllis feud would be fresh. Nick and Taylor. What about Nick and Taylor? I don't know about Nick and Taylor.
Yeah, I don't really see that matchup. What about Nick and Steffy?
Nah. Nick and Steffy?
I
don't know about that one.
I would like that one.
Donna used to be on YNR as Grace. Yes.
Brooke? Oh, yeah, that's right. Didn't Nick sleep with her?
I don't know. Did she?
I think she did.
Oh, what about this? What about Bill and Victoria?
I could definitely see. Well,
yeah, because that girl is ruthless. Victoria is ruthless in business.
Yeah. Were they together when he was on YNR? Oh no, wait, he was with Ashley, not Victoria.
Oh, you're talking about when he played Brad?
When he was Brad, yeah.
I could see Bill and Victoria.
I could too.
I could see that.
Definitely see those two.
Because she's just as ruthless as he is.
I feel like they just need to make one big story.
They should.
Just need to mix all the characters.
They should. They should have because I mean, you got Jaboa's cosmetic. Newman is in so many different things, and then you got Forrester is in fashion, which could coincide, of course, with Lauren and Finmore and Chancellor Winters with the media. If they did 1 week of like this big old, I don't know.
I need a month.
You need a month?
Give me a month of it. Everybody got private jets, so it wouldn't be an issue. People flying back and forth to be in scenes together. Like, because I know one of the things people would probably say, well, they live in two different states. But, I mean, these people are billionaires.
Yeah, I mean, they can make it where they all meeting up at a convention, maybe send them back to Monaco. They all interact. They end up having some connections. That would be awesome, but that probably cost CBS a lot of money. So,
yeah.
wishful thinking. Somebody said that Phyllis versus Steffy would be good also. Could you imagine Phyllis going up against Steffy?
That would be a good one.
Yeah, she said.
Or if Quinn was still there, Phyllis and Quinn going against each other.
I could see that. Yeah, you know what we didn't.
Many possibilities.
You notice we didn't. What about putting Nikki with Eric?
Nikki and Eric. I feel like Eric is more her speed, for sure, because he's not vindictive like Victor is.
Right. Oh Lord, girl, listen, we didn't went on a whole tangent.
I know.
I'm trying to think. Did I miss anybody? Let me see.
Anybody for Lily?
Oh yeah, we forgot about Lily. Carter.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Carter and Lily would be fire.
Yes. Absolutely.
Carter and Lily. Yep.
I like that.
And what about Billy? Would you put Billy with Steffy? I don't know. She would be so tired of him because he just don't know what to do.
Yeah. I could see that being a fun fling, kind of like Phyllis and Billy were. Which, I mean, I think they were together for a good period of time. But I don't know if I could see them being a long-term thing.
Honey Smile 320 says nope to Lily and Carter. I like Lily and Carter.
Why?
I like.
How come she doesn't like it?
I don't know. Aditha said Lily and Carter would be perfect.
They would.
I like Lily with Carter. Would you put Devon with Paris?
No. No, Devon seems to. Paris needs to be with somebody around her age.
Oh yeah, but who's our age on the show? On Young and the Restless?
Noah.
Nobody. Oh, Noah.
Noah feels like he's kind of in the younger tier.
Yeah. That's it.
Other young guys on there.
What about Kyle?
Yeah, I guess Kyle would be in that age bracket a little, kind of. Yeah. I don't know if I'd see the two of them together because I look at Noah as being, he's artsy, and Paris comes off as very artsy to me.
I'm sorry. Girl, these comments are hilarious. Somebody said Billy with Taylor because he needs a therapist. And then Denny said Sheila with Thomas.
Oh no, Lord, no.
Oh my God. No, I would put Sheila with Ashlyn Locke.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, that would be a good one.
Kyle and that's a good one. Honey Smile said Kyle and Hope.
Yeah, that would be well.
And you know what? If we're gonna put Kyle, what happened? If we're gonna put Kyle with Hope, we should also put Kyle with Hope. Liam with Summer. Maybe that's what we should do as well. Put Liam with Summer. Let me see what's in the comments. RJ should be Paris's age now. If you hear the music in the back, don't worry about it. It's always going to be Kyle and Lola. Kyle and Lola? Okay, that sounds good. Kyle and Hope, maybe. Yes. RJ should be Paris' age. Sheila and Thomas. Paris needs to be with a new stylist because she's looking as a hot mess. Yeah, I honestly, you guys. Okay. Yeah. Yeah, but I could you see Liam and Summer?
I can see Liam in Summer because the current Summer reminds me of Hope in a way.
Yeah, Liam and Summer would be good.
Yeah.
I would be okay with Liam and Summer.
What about Sharon? Who did you
Sharon
see
and
on the other
who?
show for Sharon?
Sharon and
Sharon,
Ridge.
Sharon and Ridge.
Sharon and Ridge.
Okay.
I could see Sharon and Ridge.
Yeah, I can see that too.
But she's another therapist, so hopefully he won't do like he did with Taylor.
what about what about Rick and
Rick,
Chelsea
Rick who?
Forrester?
Rick Forrester and Chelsea? No.
No.
Listen, somebody said themself and Carter.
Look, we all want that.
We
one.
all want Carter. But yeah, I would, every time I think about that, Lily and Carter would be fire.
They absolutely, yeah. They need to go on and move Carter over to Y&R because they are not doing him.
They're not doing him an injustice. That man can't find nobody. I would even. What would you say, Carter and Chelsea?
Carter and Chelsea. I I think that could work because I feel like Carter has such a sweet personality, very understanding, very empathetic, and nurturing. So I think that would be good for Chelsea.
Okay.
I would prefer Lily, but
you know who else we could put together? And I don't know if they dated. Deacon and Phyllis.
Oh, yeah, that's also a good one.
I know Deacon dated Nikki. Yeah. But Deacon and Phyllis. That would be interesting.
Be a good one too. Yeah.
I could see Chance with Hope.
Yes.
Chance with Hope. Abby. Who would I put Abby with? Abby and Thomas? Abby and Wyatt. I don't know if
I see that one.
How about Wyatt?
Wyatt, yes.
Abby and Wyatt.
Yeah, I like that one.
Okay. I think, is that everybody? I think we done swapped everybody, right?
For the most part. Well, we haven't done Nate.
Oh, I forgot about Nate. I don't know about Nate. Nate and Katie.
I can't picture that one.
Okay. Who would you put Nate with?
I would either say.
Oh, somebody said that Deacon and Phyllis did date. They had trash sex.
Not trash sex.
Yeah. Somebody shipped Brooke and Taylor together.
I mean, after this week.
Yeah.
I would say either Hope for Nate or Donna.
I could see Donna and Nate.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we covered everybody. We're gonna leave Victor and Nikki alone. I ain't gonna mess that up. Yeah, I mean, I tried to put Nikki under Eric, but that's about it.
Elena and Finn.
Elena and Finn? How about Elena and Carter?
Yeah, that won't work too.
I don't know. They might be boring together. I see Elena him better Carter with Lily.
Yeah, I like him better with Lily as well. But I think Elena and Finn would be a good match.
I'll put Diane with Bill.
I don't see that.
You would or wouldn't?
I don't.
You don't?
I would say either Diane and Eric. Or Diane and Nick Maroney. I know Nick isn't like present on the show right now, but just thinking of, all the other characters.
Gotcha. Okay, I'm trying to make sure I done swept through everybody to see Nikki, Victoria, Nick. Okay, I think we covered everybody.
Yeah.
I can't think of nobody else.
Oh, Tracy.
Tracy and Eric.
Tracy, yes.
I can see Tracy and Eric.
They would be the sweetest little couple.
Yes, they would. Yes, they would. Tracy and Eric. Mm, yep. Okay. That's it. All right. Cool. Let's jump into this whole thing with Brooke and Taylor and Ridge coming back.
Mm-hmm.
Um, I don't think he knew what to expect because because we know what Brooke told him to do, to go off and do some self reflecting and then to make a
Mm-hmm.
choice. And then the ladies came together earlier this week and they was like, I don't think we need to put that choice in his hands. We need to put that choice in our hands.
Right.
And so, excuse me. All right. Because I mean, that whole scene where they high five themselves and they told Riz, look, you know what? We're choosing ourselves. We don't have to do this with you. Goodbye, Ridge. It's over. They
Mm-hmm.
walked out. They were like sisters. That was history
Yes, it was.
because they've been fighting for 30 years
Yep.
over the same dude. I mean, Ridge got kids with both of them. He got RJ with Brooke. He got Steffi, Phoebe, and Thomas with Taylor. And
Mm-hmm.
they just been back and forth and back and forth and back and forth. And I was looking at the comment section, Facebook, all across our platforms, and yeah, it was big talk over the week. The only
Yeah.
issue that I have with this is that as much as it's a feel good moment, the only thing is it's like, okay, how long is that gonna last? You know what
Right.
I'm
And that's
saying?
what was in the back of my mind the whole time watching it too.
Hold on. Somebody is dropping bad things. I gotta block somebody.
Okay.
And this is ridiculous. Okay, he was blocked. That's disgusting. Why would you come over here?
What was they doing?
Well, they dropping words that shouldn't be dropped, but he's blocked. Oh my gosh. Okay, good. I'm glad he was blocked. Let me delete. See if I can delete the comment. Okay, he's blocked. Add him to the block list. Okay. Um. Anywho, yeah, this whole thing, that triangle went on for so long. They had a feel good moment. They celebrating with cake and all of this and put Ridge out the pasture. But how long is that gonna last? Because here's the thing: at the end of the day, it's a soap opera, so they have to come up. Unless we go into a totally different direction
Mm-hmm.
with the storyline, or is Ridge going to say, you know what, I make a choice, I love you? And the only reason that I think that they left that door open is when Brooke told the girls when they came over there, if Ridge want to be with us, that's fine. If Ridge don't want to be with us, that's fine. That whole statement was like, okay, they left that door open. What do you think?
Yeah, I feel like they kind of left it up in the air too. Even though they're saying like we're choosing ourselves, I feel like this is only going to last for a few weeks, and then something is going to happen. And I feel like I feel like Brooke is going to break before Taylor does. I feel like they're going to go back to one of them, or maybe both of them, are going to try to convince Ridge to be with one or the other. I don't know if it's going to be so much as them saying, pick me, or you need to make a choice, as it's going to be them, just casually being around each other and starting the flirting back up or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I don't have a good feeling that this is gonna last. Um, so it's nice in the moment, and I really wish that they would build a friendship between the two of them because it was really good to see. I just don't. I don't have faith that it's gonna last because it also had an effect on Steffi and Hope.
Mm-hmm.
Like you know, they had a good moment with each other. It,
Yeah.
it causes them to get along when their mothers get along. So
Yeah,
I
I
hate that. I
mean
feel like this
because
is just a little bone they're tossing out to us, and they're going to snatch it back.
yeah, I totally agree with that. Um, it was a good exercise, but if Brooke takes him back by Christmas, this is nothing more than Belle using Taylor to finally end it so that Ridge can only have Brooke to choose. That's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was great that they dumped Ridge, but a part of me wishes it was Hunter in that historic moment. Hunter Tylo.
Uh,
Yeah. In other words, they somebody saying by Christmas. Now Jenna says that they were planning to go in a different direction, but Bell made the writers change it. Oh, great. We don't get to know who Riz chose because Taylor made the choice for him. Vicky said, I don't believe either of the women. I don't either. I just don't see this long term. I mean, just for the
yeah,
purposes of a soap opera, it's not gonna they're not gonna stay like this forever. It's just not gonna happen.
yeah. I'm definitely skeptical of it. I what I really hope. Well, I'll wait for the flip.
Okay. Sabrina says the scenes came across as fake. I thought it was unrealistic to me. Now I'm not saying that it shouldn't have happened because I think it's a great thing when people decide to make a decision to remove themselves from something that's not a benefit. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
yeah,
Especially if you've been going through the cycle back and forth and back and forth, and they all got their issues, all three of them. But the
yeah.
thing is that it was like we're friends and let's play patty cake and we're gonna eat cake and we
Yes,
love each other and oh my, and it's just like ease into it.
yeah.
Ease into
That
it.
I feel the same way. They went a little overboard with it.
Yeah, they went over the top with that whole thing. And it's like, can't y'all ease into it saying, hey, we came to an agreement. We're gonna build upon what we found with each other. But they made it from being arch enemies to being
Good friend.
girlfriends,
Mm-hmm.
BFFs. And that's just not realistic to me.
No, not at all.
But is it a feel good moment? Yeah. Is it a good moment to say, you know what, we can't keep going through this vicious cycle, we need to do something different? Absolutely. Yep.
Yeah,
um let's say Brooke will cave into Ridge first. Yeah, that's the next question. Who gonna give in first?
it's absolutely going to be Brooke because she obviously cannot live without Red.
And I seen the Christmas pictures for this upcoming week, and Taylor and Steffi and Thomas is not, unless they're not there yet. They're not
Mm-hmm.
at the Forrester's house celebrating, but Ridge and Brooke is there.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah,
remember, this show is about Eric and Ridge and the two families. With Brooke, it won't change. They did this to please the Taylor fans and the Thomas fans. They got a lot of blowback off of this story, and none of this has been good for Belle. Let's talk about Christmas pictures. We have Eric, Ridge, Logan, and the Logans, period. Yeah, I mean, why did you bring Taylor back? For what? You brought her back to go back and forth with Brooke. They get down to December, and now they're walking away from Brooke. I mean from Ridge. So where does Taylor go from here? Is she going to get back into a fight? Is she going to stick around? Is she leaving the show again? Or are they going to try to bring in another? They need to bring another dude in.
that's exactly what they need. Either bring Finn's dad back and hook those two up, or yes, they need to introduce a new guy.
Bring some fresh guy. I mean, if they bring Thorne, that's cool. But bring a new guy back. Now, I
Yeah,
hope that don't mean that they would have Brooke and Taylor fight over the new guy, because then we're back at square one.
right.
Because they was like, we should never have to battle over a man and all of this stuff. And if you bring a new guy in there and they now have a rivalry for the new guy, we're back at square one, just a different dude.
Yeah.
Um, Bell made a big mistake by this, but he'll have his way. There's no That is why the story didn't make sense. Send Taylor to Genoa City and help Chelsea. Maybe they should give her a switch and send Taylor over there. She would get more traction there.
I agree with that, but I also don't like that. That would mean
An
Steffi is back
imbalance.
to being the only
Yeah.
female Forrester, or the only female in her family to be on the show. And that was one of the things that we've talked about previously, is how Steffi has nobody but her dad and her brother. And her brother she can't even depend on half the time. So
Yeah.
if they remove Taylor, then she's back to it basically just being, of course, outside of her husband. But she doesn't have a support system like Hope has. Like Hope has both her aunts and her mom there, and Steffi has none of that. And so I wish again that they would bring back, at least one of her aunts in addition to Taylor.
One of Stephanie's and Eric's daughters.
Yeah,
They just alleviated that whole side of the family.
they really did. Like they're never around.
Nope.
Like even Bridget comes back every once in a while.
Yeah, I mean, you got Katie, Bridget, Hope, Donna, and Brooke. They all have that whole family support system. Whereas basically, with Thomas now out on the outside, Steffi just got her husband.
Right.
Because if Ridge go back to Brooke, he's back over there on the other side.
Right.
So yeah, maybe she need to keep Taylor around in LA.
That's my main reasoning for not wanting Taylor to switch soaps. So she needs somebody else there.
Yeah. But I just, as much as I'm like, dang, why bring the fans on an emotional high when you do know that eventually, unless, hey, I could be wrong, maybe they're going to keep Ridge out of the mix for a while. I don't know. There's rumors and speculations. Some folks say he ain't going nowhere. Some folks say he is. I don't know. But if you're going to keep Ridge out of the mix, you better make one heck of a storyline. And this whole Sheila thing is coming to a head because we still haven't talked even about that. But do I think it was a good moment for them to look at their lives and say, look, we got to do something different. This isn't working. We keep going back and forth over the years over the same thing. Yes. So I'm agreement with that.
Yeah.
But that whole overdoing it of, we gonna go and ride out into the sunset and the hugging and oh my God. And I mean, I granted they gave them the accolades of what they appreciate about each other. I did like that scene. Like she was like, you're a healer. I like the fact that you get up every day and take care of people. And then Taylor says, I think you a bad ass or whatever. And all of that. So they really gave them each other some form of to show their accolades and what they see as positives in each other. Okay, cool. But the rest of that is like, how long is this gonna last? That's the only thing that came about. How long is this gonna last?
Right.
So I'm hoping that maybe they give it to us for a while. But eventually we should all know that the bottom is gonna fall out of that.
Yeah. And that's what I'm not looking forward to.
No, not at all.
I feel like the only way they could keep that from happening is if they introduce a new female rival for Brooke.
Right. Exactly.
That she has to go against when it comes to Ridge.
Let me ask you this question right quick. Do you find that Finn and Steffi are boring? Because somebody Denny dropped that in the chat, and there's a couple of people that's actually saying that those two are boring together.
Boring? I mean, I don't think they're any more boring than, I don't know, Hope and Liam or Eric and Donna. I think they have the better love scenes.
They do. I agree with that.
But I think maybe, in my opinion, Finn just isn't around enough. Like, he's not around as much as Liam is around.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like, I feel like he shows up here and there. He's not like a steady character that we see every single week with a story, some type of storyline.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so I mean, you can only do so much, I guess.
Yeah, I honestly think Hope and Liam are boring. That's why I was hoping that they figured out a way to put her with Thomas until this whole CPS mess.
Yeah.
But I honestly think that Thomas could have brought out the wild side in Hope because I know it's there. It's there.
Hmm.
Which is why Steffi brought out the wild side in Liam.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So putting two Hope and Liam together, they're cute, they're comfortable, they're cozy. They just don't give them enough fire to me.
Yeah. I agree with that.
And with Steffi and Finn, they have great love scenes together,
Hmm.
but I don't know. He seems kind of borderline in Liam when it comes to how, because Steffi pretty much is like tell him what to do.
She does.
She tell him what to do, you know. And I mean, this man is a doctor and all of that. Now he was like telling Steffi, like, "Nah, my mama is alive, so we gonna go in and do this." But
Yeah.
I don't know. They just need to bring a little bit of a spark. I mean, that whole thing with Bill and Steffi was fire. Bill and Steffi was fire together.
They they were, but it was just I always felt like it was gross.
Oh, okay, got you. Um, and then I don't know. I like I said, Steffi brought out the fire in Liam too. But other than that, that's I haven't really seen any hot love scenes like what we get on The Young and the Restless.
Yeah.
It's just not there. So,
Yeah, you're right.
um, somebody said Paris and Thomas would be good together. They tried it. They just didn't
They didn't follow
continue.
through
They
with
didn't
it.
follow through with it.
Yeah, because I think that was when she was still dating Zende when
Right.
they tried putting a little spark there.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And I wish that they would have just so after her and Carter broke up, I wish that they would have tried it again because I mean I wouldn't have minded seeing that one work out
Mm-hmm.
because it would have taken Thomas out of the whole obsession with Hope
Mm-hmm.
um, situation. Like I don't know why they just won't move on from that.
Yeah, I
With
don't know. It's just it's just old. It's tired. You know,
yeah, it
you
is.
redeem the character, you brought him back. He's now working at Force, that he got his son back, and then you make him obsessed, and then the whole CPS call, and now he's back in the dungeon again.
Right.
It's like, come on. And like Jenna said, this show would be a lot better if Belle would just let the writers alone and let them write. This story would have turned out better if Belle would have just stayed out of it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean,
because there's enough drama there with the custody thing with
they could have went that route.
Douglas.
Right.
Yeah, they didn't need to add in the CPS stuff and him interfering with his dad's marriage and all that kind of stuff. I feel like that would have or I feel like it easily could have organically happened for Ridge and Brooke to break up just based off of the drama of the custody issue.
Mm-hmm.
Like that would have been easy to do. It didn't need any push from Thomas setting up a fake CPS call.
Yeah. Yeah, that custody thing would have been huge. They tried to do that with the whole thing with Katie and Thorne, remember?
Mm-hmm.
When he was trying to, I guess, adopt and he wanted to keep Bill out of Will's life and all of that. That thing was crazy. We
Yeah.
don't even ever see, you know how much we see issues in court situations on The Young and the Restless? We hardly ever get that on Bold. And that would have been huge to say, hey, you know what? He's doing well. I'm going to fight for custody now. I want to change or amend the agreement.
Right.
That would have been great drama. You know what I'm saying? And then the other thing I would say would have been interesting is bring Caroline back. If you can bring
Yeah.
Adam, Diane, and who else came back from the dead? Sheila Carter. You can bring Caroline back too, even if you got to recast her.
How though? I guess with that one, it would be a little more difficult because hers was a terminal illness death and not an accident. So I don't know how would they
Well,
explain
the
that.
same way they did with Amanda, or whatever. What was it? Where was it? Amanda? Not Amanda. It was somebody that came back. Well, I mean, okay, Adam was burned alive in a car with Billy.
It's always easy though to explain away an accident.
Well, I mean, she could have said that Finn was shot. Okay. So I was gonna say maybe we thought that, and we told everybody that she had this. There's a way to write themselves out of that.
Yeah.
But yeah, that would throw a huge monkey wrench into that situation between Hope and Thomas and Douglas's custody.
For sure. It would
Mm-hmm.
for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I hated that they killed quote unquote Caroline off. I would have preferred it just been her and Thomas broke up for whatever reason.
Right.
Just so her character didn't go away. Like, which then I guess they would have had to explain, well, why would she leave her son? But
Yeah, well, they trying to finagle in why Diane left hers.
yeah,
So, all right, so let's move on right quickly, and then we got to do the two segments and close the show because we've been going now for about 2 hours and 26 minutes.
yep,
Um, so yeah, with Deacon, Deacon, well, first of all, he was harboring a fugitive. Second of all, now he's probably gonna get in trouble for obstruction
yeah,
because you eliminated camera footage. I'm just at this point, it's like, Sheila, just go out of town. I like Sheila; she's funny. I like Kimberly Brown. She's one heck of an actress when it comes to this and being a villain. But it's like, where else you gonna go with this? Either she gonna end up in jail or she gonna escape again. Okay, what do you
yep.
think?
I think she's gonna escape again.
Of course she is.
Yeah, I feel like she's gonna leave the country or something, but I feel like it's definitely gonna be an escape and not her being jailed.
Yeah, is she gonna escape? The Sheila Carter character is that woman don't have 9 lives. She got as many lives as she want.
Right.
Seriously, many lives as she want. The girl just won't go away. So I mean, well, and she bounced between both soaps.
Yeah, she has.
But the blowback on this whole thing for Deacon is when this all come out, he's another character that's gonna lose everything, including the relationship with his daughter.
Yeah, so that's probably the one thing that I don't know how they're going to spin it to where Deacon won't end up going back to jail unless this character is leaving the show.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how can you talk your way out of that
Right, exactly.
legally?
You can't really.
Yeah,
I mean, he's in trouble. Somebody Janice says Deacon is hot.
Deacon is hot. Or what's his real name?
Sean Kanan.
Yeah,
Yeah, he
he
does a
is
lot of
hot.
martial arts stuff too.
Yeah, I saw him on. I watched Cobra Kai. And I saw him on this current season of Cobra Kai as a former martial artist.
Mm-hmm. Wait a minute, what is that? Somebody says they could. Oh, if they wanted to bring Caroline back, they could say Thomas had her captive somewhere.
But then that would put Thomas
That
back in
makes him look
the
even worse.
yeah.
Mm-hmm. So
Like, I
what?
don't want it to be. I don't want it to be something that Thomas did to her to cause her to disappear. Which I don't believe that would be the case anyway, because her moms would be all over that. Like, if there was any clue that Thomas was some kind of dangerous individual, they
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't have let him leave New York with
Right,
Douglas.
that's true. Um, Mary says, unless Deacon do something heroic and save someone, then he will be forgiven. Yeah, I mean, his way out is just to turn her in.
Yeah,
but
And
he's
even
going to
if,
have to answer some questions, or he make a deal.
yeah, and
'Cause
even if he is forgiven by Hope, there's still the legal aspect of it.
exactly, that's what I'm saying. He would have to make a deal.
Yeah,
He would be like, "Look, can you give me a plea deal? If I tell you and know everything, you're gonna have to plea me out. A deal, you know."
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
The easiest way for them to write this whole thing off is that Sheila just she just escapes. She just goes away,
That's the
and
only
then
way. And
they're not dealing with the police.
yep, and then Deacon can just keep quiet and just live his life.
Right.
That's the only way that he could write. You know, stop bringing this woman back if you're not going to. You know, that's how she keep coming and going because she's never redeemed. And I'm not saying that she should be, but what are you gonna do with a character that always is hemmed up in the corner with being evil?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So all she gonna end up doing is just hightailing out of there. And from what I understand, Kimberly Brown is still on contract. So what
Yeah.
they gonna do with this? I mean,
Yeah.
maybe
It's like
she
they would just have her do. They can have her be vindictive and mean and you know a schemer without making it illegal.
right.
Just like they've been able to do that with Phyllis. Just have her get under people's skin a different way. That way, there's not always the aspect of her having to run from the law
Mm-hmm.
and trying to, create unrealistic situations to keep her in the story.
Somebody said, when is it gonna come out that Thomas knew what Sheila did to Brooke and his sister?
I don't think it will because Rich knows about that. He was the one that said we're not going to say anything.
Yeah, they decided to keep it quiet.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Mm.
So at this point, it doesn't matter. The only person I feel like that would be, I don't know, kind of looked down on would
Mm-hmm.
be Ridge for keeping it a secret.
Right. Yeah, but the thing is that all this because I know this is a conversation we had back in April, and I made a highlight of that on one of the recaps that I did this week with Finn. When Steffi wanted to chase after Sheila when she ran into her in the bathroom, which was stupid on Sheila's part. Number one, to go back into Il Giardino, and number two, to have an open toe, peep toe shoe
Right.
with a missing toe. Um, Steffi wanted to run after her. And Finn was like, remember the last time when you ran after Sheila? And that goes right back to what I've been saying for the last, 10 months? Not 8 months? Is that Steffi shouldn't have ran up behind Sheila in the alley. You could have just, when you saw Thomas leave, you got the information, you should have left. Your husband only got there because he tracked you down in the face of Sheila. And even Finn said it not once, but twice this week. You remember what happened when you ran up on Sheila? I was like, there you go.
Still doesn't absolve Sheila from the choice of shooting two people.
Yeah, I mean, it doesn't absolve her from shooting her, but if she wasn't there in the first place, there wouldn't be nothing to shoot. So,
No, that's I cannot reason. I can't make that reasoning and justification for it to blame it on somebody else deciding to confront another individual who then decides to take deadly force against two people. Like
yeah.
that's I
Man,
just
if that
can't.
was me and
I can't do that one.
if I overheard my brother having a conversation about what happened with that booze, first of all, I'm gonna come after my brother. Like, what the French toast were you doing colluding with Sheila? I ain't finna fight the monster. I'm going after the low hanging fruit, which is my brother.
Yeah, sure, him too.
Let me see. What's this? Oh, they down here speaking to each other. Okay. But anywho, Sheila was stupid for wearing that peep toe shoe and going back. When she left Deacon's apartment, she should have just went straight out to Never Never Land.
Yeah, I don't understand what was her point in going into the restaurant anyway.
She was coming out of the bathroom. Don't Deacon have a bathroom? Why didn't you use the bathroom in
Yeah,
Deacon's house?
yeah,
That made
that
no
was stupid.
sense. Girl,
Yeah.
somebody said that he could redeem himself, meaning Deacon, if Sheila was to take Hayes, and then
Hmm.
he ended up saving Hayes. I don't know.
But it still doesn't redeem him on the legal side of things.
Yeah,
That's the sticking point. There is there's still the legal issue that he was harboring a fugitive.
yeah. That still doesn't, because he gonna have to explain that. Only
Yeah.
unless he don't even bring that up. Maybe he say, "Oh my God, I saw Sheila ran that way. She's over there," and he doesn't bring up the history prior to that.
Yeah.
That's the only way I can see if that works. If he just say, "Oh my God, I saw her at the movies or something. She was sitting in the row 3, and you can go get her." Then he don't even have to bring up the fact that they were living together, because she's not gonna bring it up either.
Right.
So anywho, they up in here talking about Hope and Liam.
What
And
about him?
Hope is Liam first love, marrying and having Beth, and I would be happy that they have another child.
Mm,
Liam was caught in a paternity issue over Hayes not that long ago. Liam has learned nothing.
exactly.
Yep.
As much as he loves Hope, he for some reason cannot stay away from Steffi.
Yeah.
And let's not forget,
Mhm.
people always seem to forget that Liam basically fought Wyatt over Steffi.
Yeah.
And yeah, Hope wasn't in the picture at that time. I think she was still living like overseas or something like that.
Mhm.
But people try to act like um, Liam was not in love with Steffi and she was just a consolation prize when he couldn't have Hope. Steffi was married to her brother, to Liam's brother, and
Mhm.
Liam was trying to get at Steffi, trying to get between them and break up their marriage. So if it was just, if to me, if it was just he just wants to be with Steffi when Hope isn't around, then he would have let Wyatt and Steffi live happily ever after,
Mhm.
and not tried to come in between their marriage because Steffi rejected him.
Yeah. That's
Liam
true.
was the one that kept going after her after they got married.
Mhm.
So I'm tired of people trying to play Steffi as if she was delusional and thinking that Liam was really in love with her because that's not that. I don't. That wasn't the case. Now, yes, I feel like every time Hope comes back around, they do have him basically choosing Hope over Steffi,
Mhm.
but they always have to go the route of making Steffi be the bad guy and having her do something wrong in their relationship as to why they break up, and then he runs back to Hope, which is what happened this last time.
I'm
And they
just
try to do that same thing with Taylor, Ridge, and Brooke by saying it's always been Brooke, and that has not always been the case. There before Taylor had their kids, Ridge had rejected Brooke several times to be with Taylor. So he had picked early on was picking Taylor over Brooke, regardless of all of the tricks that Brooke would try to pull, all the lies and schemes that she would try to tell Ridge. As soon as those lies and schemes were found out, he was going back to Taylor or going to Taylor. Like nothing ever stuck early on. It wasn't until Taylor became a recurring character that he started to pick Brooke over her.
gotcha. Yeah, that whole dynamic is just. I'm just glad that they brought Finn in to kind of shake that
Me
whole
too.
thing up, because I was sick and tired of that whole Steffi Liam Hope situation. When they brought when Kim Matula left and they brought Annika Nicole, she came back specifically to get to get back with Liam. That's when
Right.
she was
She
meeting
tried to
him,
play it
and
like she wasn't.
right, she tried to play like she wasn't, but she came back
Mm-hmm.
specifically to get back with Liam when he was staying in that hotel or whatever it was.
Yeah.
Remember? And then she would just show up
Yep.
over there, and she was trying to console him, and I'm here for you, and you always have me, and all of that, and the rest is history. And bringing Finn into the mix, I'm like, thank gosh,
Yeah.
so we can
I'm
get a
glad that Steffi
break.
has somebody that is her own that doesn't have a history with Hope.
I'm wondering how long that's going to last. Is it going to get to a point where they're going to break up that Steffi Finn thing? Or they're
I
just
hope
going to
not.
leave it alone? I hope not. But that's how the soaps operated. Nobody stays together forever unless you're Nikki
Yeah.
and Victor. And I
Or
mean,
what's her name? Michael and
Michael and Lauren.
Lauren. They've been together for a group.
Yeah, Michael and Lauren been together for a very long time. I mean, they had their ups and downs, but they just been one of the solid couples. So I don't know. They
Yeah.
need just
I
like
feel
with.
like for as long as they have,
Go ahead.
you said it.
Yeah, I'm here.
I was just gonna say, I feel like for as long as they have dragged us through this love triangle of Liam, Steffi, and Finn, that they just need to leave those two couples alone for a while. Like
Somebody,
I get it. I know the soaps like to have their breakups, and they don't let couples be happy for a certain period of time. But I think they owe us at least a 10-year stint.
yeah, something, and they honestly bring in a couple of new guys for Taylor and Brooke.
Yes, please.
Bring in new guys for Taylor and Brooke. Um, I guess with your whole comment about Brooke and Taylor and back in the beginning, did you Denny said, "Child, you about to have these Brooke fans madder than a bee with no honey." That's funny. All right, let's go ahead and wrap this thing up. We had a lot to cover, but we got to do our last two segments, our flip the script segment and our take who's taking a seat this week. All right. So for those that don't know what that segment is, that's new to either the podcast or new to the YouTube side. Our flip the script segment is if there is a particular scene or storyline that you wish you could change this week, that's where we flip the script. And then I take several seats. If you feel that one character is doing just way too much and they need to go sit down somewhere, that's our take several seats segment. So what you got this week, Keisha, for the young and the restless and the bold and the beautiful?
My Y&R flip is simple. When Devon walked into Nate's office and said, "I need to talk to you,"
Mm-hmm.
um, I would have liked for having Nate to say, "I'm in the middle of a meeting. You can call me or you can send me a text or I'll come and see you later. But you're not going to come in my place of business demanding to speak to me while I'm talking to my boss."
Oh, okay. Okay.
Um, my bold and beautiful flip, I would like to have seen Taylor, in this feel good moment, tell Brooke, like, even though we're choosing ourselves, like, if at some point you and Ridge start to, you get those feelings back and you feel like you want to, go profess your love to him again, I'm going to stay out of it. That's going to be on you and him. I'm completely done with Ridge. Like, this whole thing is over. You don't have to worry about me. Because I feel like had she said that and been like realistic about it, then this whole situation would be, I feel like, a more realistic, possibly long term thing. Because right now, I feel like if next week or in a couple of weeks or even in a month, if Brooke goes back to trying to get back with Ridge, that she's going to be mad about it. Like, I feel like they expect each other to just completely stay away from Ridge. And it's going to damage this whole new alliance or truce that they have with each other.
Okay. What you got?
Um,
Yeah.
for my take a seats for Y&R, I've got three: Phyllis,
Okay.
Billy, and Devon, all for obvious reasons for what you know
Mm-hmm.
they what Devon did with Nate showing up in his office doing too much.
Mm-hmm.
Billy again showing up to Chelsea's house having movie nights doing too much, and Phyllis with everything that she's just done in this whole Diane situation, not taking accountability, um, feeling like she was betrayed by her daughter, um, completely, doing too much.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
And then my Bold and the Beautiful take a seat, Katie, for buying into whatever uh, Bill is selling her with this newfound, I don't know, all the crying that he's been doing. And
Okay.
then Ridge thinking he's just going to show back up and, oh, I made my choice. You guys can stop fighting over me now. I know who I want to be with, kind of thing.
Okay. All right. So my flip the script for The Young and the Restless would have been um I would have, if I was Chelsea, I would pretty much say, Billy, I appreciate the fact that you want to be here and be here for me, but out of respect for your girlfriend, I think maybe we shouldn't be having these movie nights. If I want to watch a
Yes,
movie, I can watch them with Connor.
that's a good one.
Yeah, because I mean, he's going to continue to show up over there because of the fact that Chelsea is allowing it to happen.
Yep.
And so, as and Sharon, like you said, Sharon is right downstairs. If you really need, you having a moment and you need to talk to somebody, call Sharon. She's a professional. She's right
Mm-hmm.
downstairs. She can be able to help her. But
Yep.
yeah, he told me, hey, I got popcorn in the movie. I appreciate that, and I think it's thoughtful. But out of respect for your girlfriend, who clearly has concerns, I think that maybe we shouldn't do this.
Yeah.
And then flip on the bold and the beautiful is when they told Deacon to go pull up that footage and he saw it, I'd be like, here you go. Here you go. Yeah, she was here.
Yep.
And I wouldn't even called her because she's supposed to be out of town anyway. So, um, on the taking seats, Devon definitely. Dude, go sit down somewhere. You didn't have to come over to Nate's office for that. Chill out. Phyllis, sit down because of the fact that you know you've been lying. You brought this man to town. You need to take accountability. And then if I had to pick one other person, let me think. I think that's it because I said Billy and Phyllis, right? Oh, I said Devon. Yeah, I already said Billy because of him showing up at the house. On the bold side, Bill, sit down somewhere. Bill, you know that you are just mad because the girls turned you down. It is what it is. All right, there are some. Let's see. Okay, so Eric should take a seat. I'm tired of him cheerleading for Brooke and Ridge. Who is he to give anybody any advice? Jack needs to take a seat. Also, he's on his way over his head with Jeremy Stark. What else y'all got? Billy needs to take a seat with trying to keep Adam away from Chelsea. That's a good one. Um, let's see what else we got. Lay just want to say I adore your postings. Oh, thank you. Tenerife. I hope I mispronounced your name. Cats, I'm late. Welcome. Yeah, we have these live chats on Saturday mornings. And if you didn't check out the beginning, because we've been on here going strong for a while, you can always do the replay. And make sure you hit the like button and you're subscribed. Deacon should have really showed the tape. She got several disguises. I agree, Bill should sit down. Plus, how can he complete Pete with Carter? Katie already said that she heard the words on the curb. Okay, gotcha. Yeah, it's yeah, these folks need to take some serious seats, seriously. Because some of these folks got some serious issues. Yep, did it. We'll watch start later. Okay, cool. Cool, cool, cool. Yeah, you guys, so it was a crazy, crazy week on both shows, especially this whole thing with Diane and Phyllis. And then this whole thing with the two ladies, Brooke and Taylor, so yeah, it was a lot going on this week. So yeah, I don't know if you caught that, Keisha. There were some people in the comment section also having some folks take seats.
Oh yeah, I'm looking now. I I added in there. That's me at the very bottom. I added in there. Noah can take a seat too for not being fully honest with Allie about that kiss.
I know, right?
Trying to make it seem like it was just Audra.
Right. Yeah, it was you too. Talking about, I don't know if I kissed her back. Really, dude?
Yeah.
I think Chance need to take a seat. Wow, so sick of him.
Why?
He never wanted to be with his wife once he came back, not taking up for Abby at all, though. Interesting. Chance, you know what? They're gonna put Chance and Sharon together.
That would be a snooze fest.
That would be a big snooze fest.
But who else could they put him with?
Yeah, and there's nobody else available unless maybe Victoria.
Yeah,
But I don't
I
even see
honestly, I
that.
feel like they're gonna put Victoria and Nate, or gonna try to put Victoria and Nate together, or something happen between them.
Oh yeah, something. Thank you so much, Shanda Medlin. I'm glad you appreciate the podcast. So I don't want to keep you guys from a Saturday, or depending on where you at, it might be Sunday in certain areas. Oh, she said Abby never allowed Chance to enjoy the honeymoon phase of their marriage before she jumped in the I need a baby train. Yeah. Yeah, I mean, they had that baby situation going on before he came back.
Yeah,
that whole storyline is a hot mess.
It was.
It was a hot mess. All right, you guys. Well, we are going to cut it short here. Did you have anything else, Keisha?
I don't think so.
No. So it was a great week. You guys on the YouTube side, stay tuned for the spoilers for the week of the 19th through the 23rd. We're heading into the Christmas episodes. So I don't know if they're going to be, I know the Diane thing should be getting a little crazy next week. On Bold, I'm not really sure where we go from here. The Sheila thing is still there, but what happens with the Foresters and Brooke and all of that, I don't know. Where's Thomas?
What's going to happen with Thomas?
Thomas, so we're kind of on a cliff with what's going to happen on Bold moving forward, especially with this high moment that we came off of with Brooke and Taylor. So,
yeah.
All right, you guys, I'm going to wrap it up here. You guys have a great week. Stay tuned for all of the recaps for next week. And also stay tuned this weekend, probably later today or early tomorrow, the spoilers for both shows for the 19th through the 23rd. So until we see you next time, have a good one. Bye.
Bye, everybody.